Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 94 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk college football, ESPN FPI rankings. We'll also talk about the new head coaching job for former LSU baseball coach Paul Mainieri. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, yo? Welcome in, OTB. T-Bob Lodger Taylor hanging out with you today. I believe Jake may be here. We'll see. Dealing with some just stuff. You know how it goes, dude. Remember, just some back stuff. Not a big deal. All right. So coming up in today's show, Taylor kind of laid it out there. Is it really gonna be a high of 84 today, though? Is that true?
94.
Oh, okay. I thought so. Okay, that makes much more sense. Got a lot to get to today, though. Very, very fun show. Nick Underhill, Devin Snow going to join us in the third hour, so you want to come back with that, stick around for that. As always, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Hit the like button if you want to get involved and whatever, come talk, sub to the channel, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be fun. Men's College World Series is set. We'll touch on that a bit as well. Talk a little Saints. Got OTB mailbag, top 10 quarterbacks. And yes, once again, not to, we carried through yesterday, but we do have a bit of LSU baseball portal news. Just a little smattering, a little touch, a little dash, if you will. What's going on, guys? How are we feeling this morning?
I feel great.
Taylor, stop coughing. You've been coughing for you coughed 10 minutes in the lead up to your opening, and now do you have allergies? What's going on?
Nah, I woke up with a scratchy cough. It's awful.
That was me in Chicago trying to do live television, having a brain aneurysm, turning red, trying not to cough during the live shots. Not good. Not good. Because once it starts, there's no stopping it.
Oh, yeah, the moment I woke up.
Out there and you're just panicking and you're trying to drink water, try to do anything. Nah. What's up with you, Alondra, though? How you doing?
Not much. I was telling Taylor about this somewhat. I'm going to say it. It's a funny video that I saw this morning of a bull that got loose at a rodeo in Oregon.
Is that the one that was running around and then it hops over the fence?
Yes.
Yeah.
The bull's name was Party Bus.
Dang. I mean,
There's
how are you supposed to keep that guy contained?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You can't keep the party bus down.
And, whenever he's in the little arena or whatever.
What song is playing?
God bless the USA. This is perfect.
It's an excellent rodeo moment. Do we know what happened? Because the video abruptly cuts off because the person gets very freaked out.
4 people were injured.
The bull leaps into the crowd, by the way.
Yeah, the bull leaps into the crowd, and then it goes out into I don't know, I guess where the concessions and stuff like that are. And there's this lady, and she's standing there watching the bull, and the bull trucked her and sent her flying through the air. Nobody died.
I thought you were going to tell me that she stared it down and that her and the bull connected. She soothed
no.
it or calmed
and the bull backs it down.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I was telling her before the show.
She watched it come at her.
It's okay to laugh at this. No one was killed. And you're sitting there in an arena watching a single bull, and that bull gets out. How do you get injured doing this? How do you just stand there and do nothing?
You're watching.
Well, I mean, if you're in the initial jumping path, I understand how you get injured, or if the bull chases you down.
Like she said, the lady just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah,
that's on you.
She watched it come at her.
She just entered NPC mode a little bit. Just thought that that sometimes your brain cannot comprehend what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And if I was in line, or maybe I'm sitting there eating some bowl peanuts, thinking about my day, maybe I had a weird time, and
I wouldn't be missing the bull, first of all.
All of a sudden, an escaped rodeo bull is staring me down. I don't know.
Bus.
Maybe I wouldn't react immediately either because my brain isn't really registering what exactly is going on.
Yeah, and it's named Party Bus, so you wouldn't think that it hurt, like it's there to party, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe this bull. I can't believe this bull would hit somebody, would truck somebody. What?
I'm just saying.
It's almost as if it's
Same
like the
party bus.
It's almost as if it's like the lone thing that it's been trained to do for its entire career. How
so,
could
like,
this have happened?
I saw it because they were saying that they're not going to euthanize the bull.
No, why would they? I mean,
Well, I guess that's what they usually do if the bull gets loose and starts going crazy and injuring people, but they're not going to euthanize it. They're just going to send it back to its home ranch and get additional training, and hopefully it gets cleared again in a few months.
Hey, they took enough backlash from Harambe. They learned their lesson.
I did not expect to start the show here, but here we are. And so I got to give you the most amazing bull fact that I've learned over the past 2 years.
Please.
And I do not believe this is bull poop.
Okay.
So I have a friend who has he's a few years older than me, but he's done running with the bulls. Him and his brother have in Spain.
Yeah.
I did not realize. Try to wrap your head around this. Those bulls that they use in the fights, so they're running the bulls, have never seen a human being until that
Really?
day.
They're probably freaked.
They raise them completely devoid of any human sight or contact.
Not even the handler?
That is my understanding.
That's crazy.
That is my understanding. If I am flat out wrong, I'm sure that somebody in chat will tell me that I'm wrong. But to my understanding, they never see a human being until that day. What in the world is going through their head?
They're probably freaked out.
They know this one world, and then all of a sudden they're surrounded by jeering and cheering aliens, and they're running through the streets of this like insane alien architecture. The next thing you know, they're being stabbed, and somebody's putting like spears in them and swords, and then they're dead. Insane.
That's a terrifying death.
It is truly hard to wrap your head around. But there it is, your fun bullfight of the day. That said, I've heard those bullfights are incredible to watch. Like for some people, they're never going to enjoy it because because the kind of, you could say, animal cruelty. Now they feed everybody with the meat. It's not like the meat goes to waste or anything. But to watch those matadors.
Yeah.
Sit there, and I've watched some videos online, but I still don't think it does it justice what it would feel like in real life.
Yeah.
To watch those matadors sit and stare down those bulls. I mean, look,
it's like prehistoric.
that woman, and
ancient.
apparently, like the best matadors will really flourish it, right, and pimp it a little bit.
Yeah,
and
put on a show.
Yes, and put on a show,
Yeah.
and they'll like kiss the bull and whatnot.
Ooh.
As it's trying to gore
Yeah,
them.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm into like bull riding and stuff like that. So
maybe that woman probably had, man, who knows? Maybe she had the mental makeup to be a matador.
Maybe.
Obviously, no fear in the face of the bull.
Right.
Just lacked the physical skill set and training.
Man, she got tossed in the air and did a couple flips.
All right. Let's get into a little from bulls to a topic that many of you all will be screaming, bull spit, when we start to talk about this. These are the 2024 ESPN FPI ratings. Now, I think a useful exercise in this regard is to explain what FPI is. The ratings, for the uninitiated, include forecasts for every team's record, its chance of winning a conference title, and of course, its probability to make the expanded 12-team playoff and win the national championship. The FPI, Football Power Index, is a power rating that tracks each team's strength relative to an average FBS squad. Teams are rated on offense, defense, and special teams with the values representing points per game. So, Georgia, number 1 in the preseason FPI, and the number next to them is 26.8. That means that Georgia is viewed to be 26.8 points better than your average FBS team. ESPN, so they come up with these numbers, and the devil in the details here is that we actually don't know how ESPN formulates these numbers, what they weigh roster wise, and how heavily they weigh it in order to come up with said numbers. I think from as you'll see, I kind of feel like they rely on high school recruiting. Maybe a bit much in these equations, but you may be saying, "Oh, I don't care about any of that." How accurate is it? Well, let's look at the 2023 preseason FPI, which of course is going to be misses, is going to be hits. But 2023 had Ohio State number 1 with a 31.5 rating, which, well, no. Alabama number 2 with a 28.2 rating. I would say that's pretty damn accurate there. They actually were right ahead of Georgia, and, well, they ended up being better than Georgia. Shockingly, LSU was 4th in last year's FPI, and I thought this was kind of fun. Look at this little, listen to this little snippet. This comes from Adam Rittenberg of ESPN from April of last year. This is right after they released the 23 FPI. And they're talking about which teams do you think the FPI is most overvaluing. He says, I traditionally go with Texas here, but I actually like the Longhorns to win the Big 12 and maybe even sniff the CFP. Words I'm sure to regret. No, Adam, you're spot on. So was FPI. The FPI had, in 2023, it had Texas at number 5, right behind LSU. But this is where it gets funny. LSU seems a little high at 4, which, agreed. The Tigers' defensive personnel jumps out, but will they have enough offense and overall consistency to navigate the SEC schedule? Oh, you sweet summer child, Adam. You had no idea. None of us did what was coming later that year. I forgot that we actually thought that the defense was going to be the strength of that LSU team last year before it became one of the most insane weaknesses we've ever seen in our entire lives. So, look, I mean, again, you go back to last year, they got Texas 5, they got Michigan 6, USC 7. So LSU and USC really the big disappointments here, but then it's Notre Dame, Penn State, Oklahoma, Tennessee. It's like, it's not perfect. Washington was at 21 for whatever that's worth, but it's still a pretty good metric and pretty solid way of kind of parsing out maybe on paper who's better in the preseason. And the difference this time around is that you have a 12-team playoff. And already therein, we start to see some pretty interesting points that revolve around that. Oh, by the way, after you get the FPI number, you simulate the season with a computer program 20,000 times. And these are those percentages that it spits out. For instance, Georgia has a 32% chance to win the SEC, an 80% chance to make the playoffs, a 31% chance to win the Natty, and to make the Natty, 21% chance to win said Natty. One thing that the 12-team playoff has done is that last year you had, I believe, 8 teams with a 20% chance or better of making the national championship, of making the playoff. 8 teams with a 20% chance or better of making the college football playoff. Now with 12 spots available, you have 18 teams hitting that number, nearly an entire top 25. So already you can start to feel how much more wide open college football feels. Now, what gets interesting are kind of the different tiers within those 18 teams. For instance, outside of Georgia, who do you think has the best percentage chance of making the playoffs? Have you looked at these?
I have it pulled up in front of me. So
damn. Oregon, given a 76% chance of navigating the Big Ten. Apparently, FPI really likes Oregon's schedule, especially having Ohio State at home in Eugene. And to be fair, Ohio State lost last time they went out there to Eugene, and that was a lesser Oregon team. And so basically in those 20,000 simulations, what I'm guessing is that Oregon is beating them more often than not, and it's giving them undefeated seasons quite often. It's led to them winning the Big Ten quite often. So Oregon giving a 76% chance to make the playoffs. Texas at 68. Ohio State at 67. Notre Dame 60. Penn State 59. Of course, this is basically all made for Penn State. And then this is the last team that is over the coin flip, over the 50% threshold, Bama at 57. So Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Bama, all given a better than 50% chance of making the playoff. Any disagreements there thus far?
I don't think Oregon should be 2.
Yep. I mean, they feel a little high, certainly.
I thought that was a little high. I think Ohio State's a little high. I mean, they're breaking in a new quarterback. They lost a lot from that offense a year ago. And then if you're looking at it, I mean, Penn State's at 6. That's pretty high for me as well.
In terms of raw FPI, I should say that. Well, actually, let's finish this and then we'll get into the raw FPI, like who's actually ranked where, because this is percentage chance of making the playoffs. So that's kind of tier 1. Then you jump down, Mizzou, Oklahoma. That shocks me. I'm shocked how high they are in Oklahoma. Again, maybe it's high school recruiting, the overall talent, the roster, which they do have. It's just that when you zoom in, and maybe this is some of the equation of the Robots don't do as good of a job compensating for. But if you're an Oklahoma team that, yes, has a ton of talent, a lot of blue chip talent top to bottom, but is working an entirely new offensive line and an entirely new quarterback. But Mizzou, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, remember how we've always kind of linked those teams together in terms of, like, okay, one of these teams will get in likely? Well, they all have a 37% chance according to the simulation. So they're kind of even. They're kind of one of them splitting it each time. Florida State's given 36%. And then we get into the 20s, and it's Michigan at 28, Clemson at 27, and then LSU and Kansas at 24%. I do not know why, but and Ole Miss is given a 20% chance. Ole Miss actually a bit low on this list, whereas last year's FPI at 16 they were viewed to be a bit high. They're basically there once again. They love Kansas to win the Big 12. Well, excuse me. That's not true. The Big 12 feels more wide open than any other conference, is more wide open. It's just that Kansas is a very, very slight edge. Like, for instance, these are title chances by conference. The SEC, a 52% chance of getting the title, of course, right? With Georgia making it 20% of the time. The Big 10, a 32% chance, with Oregon making it 13% of the time. The ACC, 6%, with Florida State making it 2.5% of the time. Independence, 5.1%, because Notre Dame makes it 5% of the time. And then the Big 12 only giving a 3.6% chance of making the title, with Kansas making it 1% of the time. So the Big 12 is as wide open as any other conference. They just think that Kansas maybe has a slight edge. Other things that jump out here on this paper. So here's the top 5 as it sits. Georgia, again, at 26.8. Oregon, 24. Texas, viewed to be 23 points better than the average FBS team there at 3. Ohio State, 4. Alabama, 5. Penn State, 6. Robots, 11. Some Nittany Lions. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mizzou, Florida State, Michigan. Then you get to LSU. And then right behind LSU, Texas A&M, ahead of Ole Miss. Again, is this because of high school recruiting, powerful roster? These are questions that will be answered in time. I mean, you are returning a very good quarterback in Connor Wegman. But to me, I would say the biggest surprise that jumps off the page here first is Oregon being as high as are. Though, according to this, they believe that Oregon will have the best offense in the entire country, which I found to be a bit surprising given that you're working in a new quarterback. But with the system, the personnel, Dylan Gabriel, what Bo Nix has put up numbers-wise the last couple of years, it's not like something completely absurd or outside the realm of possibility. And again, I can't escape how bullish they are in Oklahoma, especially given that Oklahoma schedule, in which seems like it's going to be very, very tough. I'm trying to think about some of the other biggest takeaways here. UGA, the 3rd toughest schedule in the country. How about this? So Florida is 20th in FPI, right? Pretty good. However, they're only given a 58% chance of making a bowl because they play the toughest schedule in the entire country. Georgia plays the 3rd toughest schedule in the entire country. Good news for Fran Brown and Syracuse. They play the easiest schedule in the entire country. So look, it's some interesting numbers, man. We'll see. What do you think about LSU, though? Basically, FPI predicting a slightly better than 8-4 record for LSU. LSU currently sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th in the country, viewed to be 13.6 points better than the average FBS team. They're behind Michigan, ahead of Texas A&M, actually ahead of Clemson and Ole Miss as well. Are they accurately rated? We'll see. We'll see. All right, when we get back, I want to talk about some schedule news that we got yesterday. We got transfer portal, Coach Mainieri taking the job in South Carolina. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org is the website if you need a company that is, going to fix any of your plumbing problems. You got 24/7 emergency service. They get a massive fleet that is always ready to serve your needs. So it doesn't matter what the problem is, man, because they've been doing it for 50 years. And, of course, everybody's licensed, bond, insured, and they send you information ahead of time about who's coming into your home. So, look, anything breaks down, sink, shower, whatever, water heater, don't think twice. Call Central Plumbing. But it's not just when things go wrong. If, a great gift idea would be to maybe explore like a bathroom remodel, right? For whoever is into the interior design in your relationship, give them that and they'll love you forever for it. Maybe get a tankless water. You should never run out of hot water. It's all at Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Matt Moscone inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Paul Mainieri, headed to South Carolina, will have the latest, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting report. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
The finish, the flags go down, the fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up, and long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Let's just tease our palate a little bit. Let's think about. Let's do the equivalent of what like foodies do when they just watch Instagram videos of people eating food and think about how tasty and awesome it's going to be, because we did get some news on when some of these big time college football games are going to fall coming up this fall. Look, I will say this, guys. I'm feeling a little weird about the last segment because it is so numbers heavy, right? And it's a little dense, and it's something I find to be very interesting. I don't think I'm doing a great job of communicating said interest. That said, or the interesting facts. That said, I mean, I would say if it sounds kind of cool to you, I would say check it out online, and I think you might get a bit more enjoyment there. One of the kind of interesting things, and this is the last kind of numbers heavy stuff here, but one of the kind of interesting pieces that they have in there are your highest leverage college football playoff games. Right, so which ones have the biggest percentage swings on who will actually make the playoffs? And of course, because like we've seen the last couple of years, it's some Big Ten games near the top because it's such a top-heavy conference that, like, yeah, Michigan, Ohio State kind of, and Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, but like all those tend to be kind of de facto playoff games, right? But how about this third on this list, Mizzou, Alabama, right behind Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. So week 9, Mizzou, Alabama, viewed to be one of the most important games of this college football season. Week 11, you have Florida State, Notre Dame. Texas at Michigan immediately in week number 2, viewed as one of the big boys. And you go down this list, LSU only showing up it looks like about 15 with LSU, Alabama. But how about this? Notre Dame, Texas A&M, week 1. Already, immediately in week 1, we're going to be getting some big games that will affect the very end of the college football season. By the way, we actually know how the playoffs are going to time out now. The first round of playoff games are going to be December 20th, with the national championship coming January 20th. 1 month to rule them all. The other bowl games will be pretty much wholly unaffected. But yeah, check this out. Tell me this doesn't seem a little tantalizing in terms of it's December. Hopefully the weather's cool. Christmas is in the air. Everybody's bebopping around, walking around in a great mood. And you settle down. Maybe you even got a couple of days off of work. The kids are home from school. You know, the delicious baking smells are wafting through the air. And 7 p.m., December 20th, presents under the tree. Christmas a few days away. Christmas lights dancing at the edge of your vision. You settle down for a 7 p.m. ABC playoff game that will be hosted at an actual college football stadium. Probably have yourself a couple of drinks. Then you wake up. Can I get a day check? When is December 20th day-wise? Are we talking Friday? What are we talking here? Because then December 21st at noon, or excuse me, 11 a.m., so you stay up the night before, awesome game. Oh, man, that's a Friday. Okay,
so the 21st
even
is
better.
A Saturday.
Figured to, even better.
Hell yeah.
Then you wake up Saturday morning, you get your coffee, and you got a little college game day on the TV. And at 11 a.m., you're treated to another college football playoff game, this time on TNT.
A little mimosa action.
A little mimosa, little Kenny, Shaq, Ernie, Chuck. I said this.
Maybe.
I think TNT, I do not think they'll do this. But I think they would be dumb to not just do the Inside the NBA team on college football. Don't change a single person. You want to maybe add a football voice? Sure, whatever. But I'm not there for the basketball insight. Like, I don't need, the least favorite parts about that show is just hearing Shaq berate people about not having a ring and blah, no, just let them be them, only just let college football be the vehicle. I doubt they'll do it, but whatever. So that'll be TNT at 11 a.m. Then at 3 p.m., you'll get another game. And then at 7 p.m. on TNT again. And then at 7 p.m. that Saturday night, you get another ABC playoff game. All in college football stadiums. Tell me that doesn't feel tantalizing? So then we get into the quarterfinals. And that'll be your more traditional New Year's Eve, Fiesta Bowl. And then on New Year's Day, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl. And then a week after that, January 9th and 10th, you get in your Orange and Cotton Bowl. So now, interestingly, all New Year's Six bowls have value. All New Year's Six, because remember, we said, ironically, the only bowls that don't matter nowadays are the major bowls that aren't playoff games. Well, now all 6 are playoff games, which I don't know why I'd never realized that until actually doing this exercise, but good on them. I'm sure the bowl games are happy about that. So there's your semis, and then finally January 20th on ESPN 6:30 p.m. Good start time there. 6:30 p.m. The national championship. I think that's awesome, dude. Month-long football tournament. Are you kidding me? Let's go. And not really ending that much later. Not interfering with the rest of bowl season. Just adding to bowl season. I'm never going to be sorry about seeing more excellent college football. Sounds pretty awesome. No.
Well, think about the football overload as well. I mean, NFL playoffs are going to be sprinkled in there as well because the Super Bowl's the second week of February. So it's like you have all you mentioned, that busy schedule was college football. I mean, you got NFL playoffs mixed in there as well, and you extend college football for, 2.5 weeks because it usually ends around January 7th, 8th.
I feel like January 9th is where I always
have it
in my brain.
Yeah,
that's because we lost on January 9th, actually, I guess.
Week and a half, but yeah, I love that.
It seems incredible, dude. A full month. Now,
sounds beautiful.
When is Army-Navy? Is that the 20th? Because I have seen some drama over that, but I didn't look up the dates. I know that Army-Navy is now having a share with the day, which I need to do more research for, I guess, talk about publicly. But that seems fantastic. Other scheduling news that we got here recently. The Red River Rivalry, Triple R, going to be October 12th. Instead of being at 11 a.m., going to be at 2:30. So moving a bit more into prime time there in ABC. In terms of Black Friday, we got a pretty good slate, though I don't love this initial change. Black Friday will open up with Minnesota, Wisconsin at 11 a.m. on CBS, which that sounds like the perfect way to open your hungover, belly full of turkey. You want to get your Thanksgiving gumbo the next day started up. Like, you don't want a game that you have to be fully locked into. Minnesota, Wisconsin is the perfect background Big Ten vehicle for that moment.
From what I see, the Army-Navy game is on December 14th.
Oh, okay. Well, then I got to look at who's moving in before I fully form a take there. But on the surface, I do agree that I don't know why you'd have another game there if you don't have to. But we'll look. So Minnesota, Wisconsin. Then the Egg Bowl, moving from Thanksgiving night to Black Friday afternoon in that 2:30 slot. How do we feel about this? I know that Thanksgiving is the NFL's day, but more often than not lately, I feel like those games have not been very good, and I have found myself much more entertained by the Egg Bowl, and I love it being at night. I love being, having a belly full of food and being kind of drunk because I've been drinking all day, but not being too drunk because I have way too much food in me to be too drunk, and then existing in some weird kind of in-between liminal world where I'm watching the Egg Bowl. I don't love that it's going to be taking place under the sun now.
I would like it better if it was Black Friday night, right? Like that Friday night game. I don't really care if it's the day of or the day after Thanksgiving. I mean, that whole week for me is football, whether it's NFL. On the Thursday of Thanksgiving, you have the Black Friday games. You have Saturday, Sunday playoff games as well. Like, I'm fine with it being on Friday. I don't like the daytime game, though.
So then after that one, after the Egg Bowl, you're going to get Iowa, Nebraska at 6:30 on NBC. Let's go. And then Georgia Tech, nobody cares at all. I think it sounds pretty cool, man. But yeah, I really like this new college football playoff setup. When we get back, we maybe go through a couple more games. And then, oh, wow. Jake made it in studio. We weren't sure if health was going to hold him out. He's trying to battle through here. But when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Trash Rangers. TrashSignup.com is the website where in just 3 minutes, you can select your number of cans. You can see what it's going to cost. You can see your pickup days. And you can make the switch. If you live in Ascension or lives in parish, you're fortunate because you have the ability to choose who gets to handle your waste management. You can go with the local company that's efficient, that's reliable, that actually gives a damn about the locals, about you. You're not just some ledger on the balance sheet or some mark on the ledger sheet for some national company. They don't really care about you, where they're keeping all the trash here in Louisiana but taking the profits out. No, not a trash range. They're local. They're the best. And because of it, they give you a next level customer service. You ever have any issues. So, and for instance, they even do things like text you the night before they come so you never forget to put out your cans again. But if you don't live in Livingston or Ascension and you need like roll-off dumpsters, any waste management solutions, Trash Rangers got your bag, man. Call them up. Deal with humans. Let them better serve you. TrashRangersLLC.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Esco joins us from Las Vegas, and the field for the College World Series is set. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Jake, welcome in, man. Very sorry that you're dealing with, the health issues and everything, man. Absolutely brutal. You're a fighter for coming in. You definitely did not have to, but we're glad to have you here.
It took me a minute to get here. It took me a minute to get out of the car and slither up here, but
I was out. Went and got me a championship belt, aka a back brace, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Well, best of luck. I don't know. That's the biggest fear. Anything back related, just so debilitating. I can't really fathom. Yeah, and it's you play so long. You play for however long your life, 26 years of your life. You play football, and then putting your daughter in her car seat is what gets you. Age is a hell of a thing. Yeah. I don't know. Well, at least if you're laid up this fall, you'll have some good college football to watch. We've kind of been breaking down. We broke down the new playoff schedule, looked at ESPN's FPI a little bit, which has some interesting takeaways. I'd like to get some of your thoughts on it, but I don't want to rehash it right now because it's so numbers heavy. I think that the audience may be a bit sick of me. One other funny scheduling quirk that we didn't get into, we talked about Black Friday. CBS, man, how do you think CBS feels about breaking off the relationship with the SEC and instead going with the Big Ten? Because here are the first four CBS 2:30 games, right? The like the games that make us feel. They're going to open with Akron and Ohio State. Now, they're actually going to do a doubleheader that day, and they'll follow it up with UCLA at Hawaii. Now, the Akron-Ohio State one is easy to be derisive about, but we've seen this with Bama a lot, all right? Early on, light schedules, I've seen a lot of Bama against, like, the Citadel on CBS at 2:30. So this is not as unprecedented as it sounds. I think what would be more disappointing to me is, like, the next week it's, like, Iowa State, Iowa, which is fine. And then it's Notre Dame at Purdue the following week after that, with a nightcap being Colorado and Colorado State, which, again, are all fine. But, I don't know. Am I guilty of regional bias to say that those don't sound nearly as exciting as the SEC matchups that would occupy those same slots? No, you just said Akron and Ohio State and UCLA and Hawaii.
I know. Again, to be fair, though, I've seen Alabama play really bad teams on CBS a lot of times.
I thought CBS picked it up around week 3, and we didn't see any of those. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if I've created this memory like Brian Williams in the helicopter crash, but I feel like I've seen Alabama plenty on slower weeks. They just put them because they know they'll do ratings, and they play I don't know,
I've seen them play Mercer twice.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
But okay, but you're right. Akron Ohio State's objectively garbage, but take it out of it. Take that out of it. UCLA at Hawaii, Iowa State at Iowa's that's fun, but 2:30 CBS. Notre Dame at Purdue. Purdue's bad.
Yeah, Purdue's going to be real bad.
Notre Dame's going to smash. Colorado at Colorado State. Last year's game was awesome, to be fair. But I don't know, man. It just all feels like it's weird. It's like these games can be good, but it can also feel like you're watching Division II in some sort of way.
What's the biggest game that they have?
They've announced already?
Yeah.
The next week, USC at Michigan. Which, again, I don't know how good of a game that will be. Could be, though. Michigan's so much unknown, so much turnover. USC, I don't think will be good, but it is kind of interesting from a stylistic standpoint. USC a bit softer, a bit more wide open. Obviously, Michigan's kind of tough-nosed persona. Feels like that'll be interesting to watch those two clash. But, yeah, those are the only announced games right now. I don't think they're going to do near the ratings that they used to do. I'll just say that.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Purdue's a thing. I know that they've played that for a long time, but they're not going to do Alabama, Tennessee. They wouldn't do LSU, Ole Miss. They're not going to do anything close to that. Colorado, Colorado State. Colorado did big numbers last year. Maybe. Jay Norvell and Dion went back and forth. Maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a good game, but I don't know. It's not. Yeah, actually, no. That did crazy numbers last year, though. That's right. Yeah, it did like $10 million. Yeah. So that actually probably will do great. Other notable games that we now know when and where they will fall. Just think about week 1. So we already mentioned Notre Dame and A&M being one of the most impactful games of the entire season right there in week 1. That's going to be 7:30 on ABC, or excuse me, 6:30 on ABC. Hell yes. We're also going to get what I could only describe as the Florida Toilet Bowl. Miami at Florida, 2:30 ABC, Jake. Two awful teams that are both desperate for a big win, that need to gain confidence. Christopher versus Napier. Let's go. Christopher versus Sunbelt Billy. Who will emerge victorious?
This is going to be the hot seat bowl.
Yes.
Because whoever loses this is going to be, well, you guessed it, on the hot seat. Billy's probably already there. Cristobal would be there.
Yeah,
if he wasn't like a Miami guy. I think that buys you like an extra year typically. They've just been bad, and they found ways to lose games a year ago, not kneeling the football.
Yeah.
And then for Florida, if they don't make it to a bowl game back-to-back years, in the year that they made a bowl game 2 years ago, they lost and had a losing record. There's no, like, it doesn't matter who's coming in. It doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter the schedule. Like, Florida's Florida. Right, and the expectation is to be great. They fired Dan Mullen, and he went to 3 straight New Year's Six bowl games.
Yeah,
before he had one bad year. Like, they might not have liked his recruiting, but he was still winning.
Yeah, that's gonna be like you said, the hot seat bowl there. Big early game. Here, let's go to break. When we get back, still a ton to get to. A couple more of these. Then we got to talk about Coach Mainieri. We're going to talk about our girls, Kristen Nuss and Taryn Cloth. We were going to rank the top 10 quarterbacks at OTB Mailbag. We got Saints Talk. It's all coming. Keep it locked right here. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. We also got to still talk about the ACC and NC State punching their ticket as well. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. Go there today. If you're in the market for a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you get a great price and you still get that warranty coverage. Maybe you need a lease, maybe you need to buy, maybe you just need a rent. Maybe you need a service or you got an accident. Well, the All-Star Toyota Service Center is open to all makes and models. Insurance claims are welcome, and they give you free professional estimates. They also have great lines of communication, whether it's texting or calling throughout, so that you stay abreast of the situation. They don't do anything without your approval. And they have rental cars and shuttle services right there on site. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Go to the website today to see what you can buy new, what you can lease, and what you can rent, because everything in those three processes is available. So no matter what you're looking for, midsize, full-size SUV, truck, van, hybrid, sedan, they've got it all to buy, to lease, and to rent. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. The College World Series field is set. Sharif Ishak talking Saints from minicamp, and Glenn West from Go 24/7 talking Tigers. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Chill, right on the side as the eagle becomes
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I know we've ended up having like a full college football power hour here. I did not mean for it to be this, but we're here, so we'll just finish it out, and then we'll move on next hour. But so we talked about the notable Week 1 games. Already in week... Oh, by the way, shout out my father-in-law, Mark Berry. He's in the chat right now. We had a very good time last weekend. So my man's, years, decades in tech and, high power sales stuff, blah, blah, blah. He finally retires. What's he gotten super into? Baking bread. My man's a sourdough master now. Rise and need.
I was not expecting baking bread. That's
I know.
I thought crypto was coming out of your mouth.
Nope. I mean, it makes sense though, right? You spend it in all these like stressful, like fast, like never-ending grindy jobs, and then you just want to slow down a bit and commit yourself to one of the more ancient art forms.
I hear it's very therapeutic.
Zen. It feels very zen outside
like
looking
meditative.
in. Yes. And his sourdough is incredible. Oh my God. The base loaves, well, I didn't get the jalapeno one, but the in terms of like a sweeter loaf, his cinnamon raisin, you throw the thing in the toaster. Thank you, Grand Dude. I'm still eating those loaves. They're delicious. Okay, the reason why I brought this up, he's my WVU guy. We watched all those games last weekend together. Well, WVU is going to be on the big stage immediately. Week 1, Penn State, West Virginia. It's going to be going opposite of UGA Clemson. What's the more exciting game there? I mean, UGA Clemson's the undeniable bigger brands. Who's closer to one another, though? Do you think between Penn State? Now, I know Penn State beat the hell out of West Virginia last year, so probably that's the case.
As far as location or talent?
No, talent. Which will be the better game?
Because they're both pretty close.
I think Georgia's probably going to smash Clemson.
Clemson's defense is supposed to be, like it is most years, really good. You've got Maffa back at running back. Kate Klubnik is okay at best. Well, I was about to get to, I don't know who is going to play at receiver for Clemson. Like, they don't have anybody that excites you here in the preseason. Like, even somebody like Bo Collins is now playing for Notre Dame, and he was like an okay receiver for you, probably your best option. So with Georgia's defense, with them knowing that Maffa's probably going to be toting the rock like 25 times, I don't see Clemson having a lot of success in that game. I can see like a 21-3.
I mean, probably both games not going to be that exciting, but remember, West Virginia finished sneaky good last year. 9-4 with one of those losses being an absurd Hail Mary to Houston that should have never happened. Like, we'll see what they can do. But they'll be Big Noon week 1 and then Big Noon week 2 already, guys. We're getting to the big boys, Texas at Michigan. Let's go. Week 2. Colorado, Nebraska on NBC. Week 2.
That only excites a couple of
No,
people.
Colorado, Nebraska's tight, dude. You know Colorado. That's going to be Matt Rule's first real big opportunity to prove that this is a different Nebraska
They played last
team this
year,
time
right?
around. Yeah, remember Colorado beat
won.
him.
Yeah.
Because Nebraska turned it over approximately 18,000 times like they did
Jeff
every
Sims,
single game
the
last year.
quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah.
He fumbled the ball literally 18,000 times.
Yeah. It got to a point where it's like, does he have money on this?
Yeah, legitimately. I think people started to wonder that. Sneaky big, Tennessee, NC State. How about NC State? I don't know where to put this in because, it doesn't really fit in the show rundown anywhere. NC State, yeah, shout out, woo, Wolfpack. So NC State last football season beat Clemson, Miami, Wake, Virginia Tech, and UNC to finish 9-3 after a bad start. Now they lost their bowl game. 10 wins would have been nice. But then the men's basketball team wins the ACC tournament, makes the Final Four. The women's basketball team reaches the Final Four. And last night, the baseball team beats Georgia in Athens to go to Super Regionals and give the ACC 4 teams in Omaha. Sneaky, incredible year for the Wolfpack, dude.
How about the Fighting Phillip Rivers?
Good on him, dude. Text PR17 and tell him, congrats, man. Enjoy it. All right, hour 2 next. You're done with college football for now. Keep it locked to OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
AccuTemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com. AC, heating, electrical needs. You want to go to AccuTemp where you can get service to the highest degrees. Okay, and that's real. And don't just talk the talk and walk the walk. That service side degree, though, if you go tour their facilities and you see it everywhere. Because it's not just an advertising slogan that they handed me. It is their mission statement. It's the core ethos. And at the center of everything they do, which is why they have such unreal reviews online. So check it out for yourself. And remember, with storm season here approaching, I never know when it actually begins. Explore a whole home generator. They give you a free estimate, let you know exactly where we go, how it's all going to work, and you and your family can be protected for storm season. Go to AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. Check them out, AccuTempBR.com.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 94 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll talk the top 10 quarterbacks in college football. We'll have a little OTB mailbag and some New Orleans Saints action. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what up, yo? Welcome back, OTB, hour number 2. Hope you're having a great morning today. You're on Off the Bench. Couple things to get to. I want to talk about On Three's top 10 quarterbacks. But I said we take a little break from football for a second so you can do that. And we got OTB mailbag coming up next. You can get your questions in. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor all hanging out with you. Jake gritting through injury, legitimately playing hurt. Like as hurt as you can play in radio. Like the only physical thing that would kind of keep you from doing this job would be something with your back. And Jake's out here toughing it out. So we love to see it. Paul Mainieri, how about it? Coach Paul Mainieri, LSU great, great coach, better human being. He's one of the guys that I think you'll kind of see that as a constant refrain when it comes to people talking about Coach Mainieri. And I would say, yeah, that's definitely been my experience with the man. He's always been so gracious with his time, so incredibly kind to everyone that I've seen him interact with. He's been a massive part of LSU fundraising efforts recently. He's worked very closely with Taft the last couple of years. He obviously helped with the transition of power to Jay Johnson, being very humble in that regard, given that, there had to be, for as much as he was talking about how he needed a break, his neck was hurt and everything else, there had to be some ego and some pride there that he put to the side and kind of in order for the greater good. He's a man who's very involved in Dreams Come True, a charitable organization that helps Louisiana kids' dreams come true that I also love. And so the point is, it felt like Coach Mainieri was just going to maybe retire and be one of those kind of LSU people, I guess, behind the scenes, just almost an ambassador, you could say, for the program, for the school. Well, looks like the old dog's got some fight left in him yet. As the South Carolina Gamecocks have announced that have they announced it yet? It was reported by D1 Baseball yesterday. It's been confirmed by multiple outlets, including The Advocate. Coach Mainieri going to be the South Carolina Gamecock head baseball coach. When you saw the news, what was your initial reaction?
It was complete surprise because of everything you laid out and what Coach Mainieri was doing lately. And we've seen him at different events, and, he's LSU through and through, and he's been helping raise funds and do all the things.
And golfing like a madman.
Obsessed
with golf.
And I also I see him all the time at the local grocery store, just hanging out, just shopping, just killing some time, and I always stop and have great conversations with him. But I thought he was fully retired, just because the things he was doing is typically things you do, like when you retire.
He wasn't baking bread, but yes, besides that.
So yeah, I was surprised, and this is not like him going somewhere because he's like, you know what? I'm not enjoying all this free time. Let me go scratch this itch one more time. I'll go somewhere. small and just,
point.
kind of just ride off into the sunset, have some fun. Like when Jim Calhoun retired from UConn, that's what he did.
Where'd he go? Just like
some
small
super,
school,
super small school and
get
just
back to basics a bit.
Yeah, and just enjoyed
The
a
basketball
couple of more
equivalent of
years.
baking bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for him to go to South Carolina, a place that 15 years ago was winning back-to-back national championships, they were in the postseason this year. It's a very proud baseball program where their former coach is the AD there, like all those things. It's a big job. It's a massive job. It's one of the top 15 college baseball jobs out there.
Well, and how wild is it that you're going that's a very good point that I hadn't really considered about kind of the enormity of the job that you're taking on, and you're taking it on at a time, and I can't shake this. You have 4 teams in Omaha out of the SEC. You nearly had 5, and none of the 5 would have been Arkansas, Vanderbilt, or LSU. I mean, and you have Texas and Oklahoma being added. I mean, this conference is so mind-bogglingly insane when it comes to the sport of baseball that, like, this is not going to be, Jake, this is not going to be an easy job. Like to make people happy with. Like, what's he going to have to accomplish there in order for Gamecock fans to be pleased? Like regional host? Like, can you find your way to 16 wins? It's going to be tough. Now, Coach Mainieri's a great coach, and he obviously still has some fight left in him. And I was very happy for him on a personal level because you only take this job if you still got that fire, to Jake's point, right? And so it just in taking the job, we now learn more about his motivations than I thought I knew, right? Like I had some things wrong about where he was at personally. And so I'm happy for him. This has to be fulfilling for him, but I'm a little intimidated. I mean, I'm intimidated for Jay Johnson and LSU. Looking up and seeing what you have to keep pace with and what you have to navigate, much less Coach Mainieri starting over in a new place like South Carolina.
And so, like this year, they didn't host, right? They were, They were 2 seed.
13 and 17.
And were they 2 or 3? Either way, they didn't host, right? And their coach got fired. Like, there's an expectation to be a top 16 seed most years. Yep. Maybe not every year, but most years at South Carolina. Again, like they've won national championships not that long ago, back to back, and they had some downtimes, but even going back to 2 years ago, remember that series at South Carolina and how high leverage that was for LSU, and Paul Skeens was out there, and it was a 2-game split. The third game got rained out, and there was a lot of juice around that series because South Carolina was a good program. So this is one of those places where good's not good enough.
Yeah.
Greatness is what they expect. And so it's a lot. Like Coach Mainieri, and he understands it. He's been in the SEC for that long.
Scared, obviously.
He knows what it is, but it's not like you're going to a junior college. You're not going to a Southland Conference team. You're going to South Carolina in the SEC with every expectation.
So, Alondra, this brought up some Mac Brown PTSD in you from your Texas days growing up?
A little bit, because like Jake's saying, it's big, like it's not like a little school that he's going to. It's an SEC school that is a top caliber team in baseball. I mean, y'all just laid it out. They gave us a run for our money when Paul Skeens was out there. But, it gave me a little bit of some flashbacks. But I love Coach Paul Mainieri. And that's why I felt kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm happy for him too.
It's a little complicated emotionally.
Yeah, because like you said, it's in the SEC. So we're going to be competing against him.
And I will cheer for Coach Mainieri against anybody save for LSU.
Right, yes.
He now exists in that category. And we all have those teams.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I'll cheer for them until they come up against my team. But yeah, I'll cheer for them from afar against anybody else.
And I'm honestly like a little surprised because, like Jake, I thought he was retired.
Yeah, no, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, and that's the biggest revelation in all of this.
Yeah.
In taking the job and taking on that challenge, he reveals that, no, he's still got a lot of vim and vigor left in him.
Yeah.
I guess that trip to Hoover, because you remember the TV kept showing him and Skip Bertman and Todd Walker all up there talking ball. Maybe that lit the fire.
Yeah,
maybe he's like, hey, South Carolina, y'all make a move. I'm here.
Well, and look, people take sabbaticals for reasons, and after they've been doing jobs for decades. Like, also, he did have health problems. He had those debilitating neck problems. You take a couple of years off, those get better, you work through them, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, I feel good again. Like, I can get back to it. So, you can piece together
the puzzles with the benefit of hindsight, but I'm happy for him.
I was sad when he retired. So, yes, like I'm happy for him, but I was kind of taken aback.
If you remember, this is about the third head coaching job he's interviewed for. He interviewed for the Miami opening. There was a rumor that Notre Dame was going to rehire him when they were looking for an opening. So, I mean, this is about the third spot he's been linked to, and he finally got the job.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I will say this. This feels like a much better hire than like a Les Miles at Kansas, where that felt a little brother-in-law-y. Him and Jeff Long were just boys. It was more like a splash hire than maybe like a very you were catching a falling knife. I don't think you can describe Coach Mainieri as catching a falling knife.
Well, not only that, like Kansas was so bad as a program, right? Like he's basically like, hey, Les, we're familiar with each other. You're a big name. Maybe you can put some butts in the seats. Like Jake mentioned, like South Carolina's a really good baseball program, and they have been for a long time.
I did see that Terry Rooney's going with him.
Yeah, that was the last piece that I wanted to mention here.
He's going to be the pitching coach.
So Terry Rooney this year came back to LSU to be the LSU Associate Director of Program Development and Recruiting. He was the pitching coach at LSU for 07-08. He was with Paul Mainieri 3 years before that at Notre Dame, and now he's going to go be the pitching coach at South Carolina. We believe. It hasn't been 1,000% confirmed, but it's essentially confirmed. So good on you, Coach, and best of luck, man. Except for against LSU. But I hope you beat the hell out of Wes Johnson in Georgia.
The scheduling gods have to put South Carolina in the box next year, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so. That would feel
storylines.
That would feel obvious. Yeah. And that'd be emotional. And I think that he would get a
he would get some claps. Yeah,
resounding ovation. Yeah. Right? Yes. Stephen Miller with some more in-state coaching moves, saying T. Moore in-state coaching moves. Nicholls State head baseball coach taking the job at Arkansas State, according to D1 Baseball's Kendall Rogers. Man, Nicholls almost had their first ever NCAA tournament win.
Yeah.
And they blew it. Would have been one of the largest comebacks in tournament history. Poor third baseman, man. All right. I do want to remind you all about MMR Group, the MMR Group, I should say, the nation's largest privately owned electrical and instrumentation contractor. Look, if you are in college and you're listening, saw that. Well, check it out. You need some guidance. You're looking for a career. I get it. It's intimidating. Maybe explore what MMR can offer you. One of the most fulfilling parts about me getting to tour the facilities and learn the business a bit was sitting down and talking to some of the interns, right? And very impressed with these kids, by the way. Like, I don't know. I always get intimidated when a kid seems like they have it so much more together than I do. But they're sitting there like banging away on the computer and they're showing me pictures from these adventures they've gone on all over the world. Because again, MMR, they're headquartered here in Baton Rouge, but they have projects all over the globe. So if that sounds tantalizing to you, go check it out. Get in touch with them, mmrgrp.com. You can start to explore what those pathways look like. And look, if you're already in this business, you're seasoned pro, you're just starting out. Again, we have positions for everyone. So outstanding benefits, dynamic culture. You want MMR, mmrgrp.com. All right. On 3 had their, by the way, real quick, shout out Taryn Cloth and Chris and Nuss. Officially qualified for the Parisian Olympics. Something that, we said would happen years ago, but still that really never, I didn't know, would they stay together? Would they find their fortunes apart? Would one end up being better than the other? And whatever. You say somebody's going to make the Olympics, you're like, okay, cool, yeah, sure. But they actually did it. Credit to him. I can't wait. I'm getting a little sneaky excited
about
for
the
Paris.
Olympics?
Yeah.
I love the Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm super excited
I'm
about
getting a little sneaky
I'm
excited.
definitely more Summer Olympics than I am
100%.
Winter
Oh,
Olympics.
yeah. I don't really mess with the Winter Olympics.
Winter's
that
got some
much,
good
but-
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak in totalities.
Yeah.
But summer's
Yeah, when
got,
you think Olympics, you think summer.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily think winter. What are the best summer Olympic events? I mean, all the running's tight because they're so not the distance running for me personally.
the 200 and
even though it's
100.
present. But yeah, all the sprints. I mean, come on.
Swimming's good. It's always
Swimming's
exciting because
Swimming's
U.S.
good.
is always good at it.
Yeah,
Swimming is
when you get to
good.
the final, we've had some legendary moments there. I like skateboarding.
I love it.
Which is
Like,
dumb,
yeah.
But I love skateboarding. You said soccer, Jake?
Soccer, yeah. The
excited
U.S.
for some
qualified.
footy?
Yeah, because it's been a long time since the U.S. has been in the Olympics. So, the women have been in there, obviously. They've won gold medals, but now the men's team's going to be in there as well. You know, nice roster they put together, and you can have it's under 20s, but you can have I think it's 4 players that are over 20 on your roster.
Whoa, that's funny. Just randomly.
The obvious answer is gymnastics.
Yeah, love gymnastics.
I also like to watch like the diving.
God, gymnastics actually might be my favorite.
96 Atlanta Olympics gymnastics.
Carrie Strug.
That was
y'all don't even know about that, do you?
Core memory for me being 11 years old.
She like broke her ankle.
Yeah, and she finished the full routine.
She
with
broke
it,
her
right?
ankle. She still does the vault, lands it perfectly one-footed for gold. One of the most legendary sporting moments in history.
I mean, we can't ignore curling.
I don't really care about the basketball that much anymore.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
I used to. The dream
I did
team.
too, yeah, growing up. Curling is winter.
Yeah, I thought that was winter.
Because they're on
is it?
ice. Yes, I believe.
Yeah,
I
it
could be
is.
wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're one of the premier Olympic ones, or one of the premier
Winter
winter
Olympic.
ones, though, for sure. Is there anything else in there that we're missing? Is there baseball?
Is baseball back?
No, it's not. But that and softball
No,
specifically.
I think baseball's
ping-pong
back.
summer, huh?
I think baseball's
Yes.
back this
Oh,
Olympic
is
Ping pong
it?
cycle.
summer, beach volleyball.
Bro, oh yeah, beach
think it
volleyball's
is.
always great. I can definitely get into some ping pong. Some Olympic pong. I mean, but also my YouTube algorithm feeds me a lot of ping pong videos.
I mean, beach volleyball. Now that we know 2 contestants in the actual Olympics.
oh, bro,
No,
I'm
they're
gonna
not
be,
back
I'm gonna
in.
be, I'm gonna be fully fanboying Cloth and Nuss during, and plus, like, who knows? Foreshadowing, omens, portents. If Nuss does really good in the summer, maybe Nuss will do really good in the fall. You know, the Nuss bus not starting October. You know, not starting Sunday in Vegas. Instead, starting this summer in Paris. Think about it.
It's big brain thinking right there.
Yeah. Like if Christian Nuss goes gold, maybe Garrett Nussmeier goes Heisman.
They're not doing baseball anymore.
I thought they brought it back this cycle.
No, but
They bring softball back at least.
Yeah, softball came back in 2020.
Okay.
And oh, man, I miss like whenever I used to watch it back in the day with like Jenny Finch and Kat Osterman and all that.
Do they still do the power walking? Is that a summer
I think
event?
they might, yeah.
That's the funniest
So
event to
funny.
me because it's like, how do you push something where you're not allowed to go as fast as you can go, but you still have to go as fast as you can go?
Yeah.
Like, you ran! You're out. Get out of here, dude.
You ever see the way their legs move when they do that
It's
too?
so
It's like
awkward.
weird.
Well, they gotta like keep their hips. Like it feels like you can't like bend your knee too much
Yeah.
because then it looks like you're running. So they just kind of do this little like hip shuffle and everything.
Is that the only time it's okay to be a narc?
Well, hopefully you won't have to narc, right? I mean, I'm sure the judges are watching like hawks the entire time.
Guy walks by you a little too fast. Hey, slow down. Hey.
I don't know. I feel like there's honor amongst thieves when it comes to power walkers. Let he who has not broken the knee cast the first stone. You know, like sometimes.
How do you judge what's too fast? and what's-
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's always fascinating me. I don't actually know. That's what I'm most excited for. Power walking.
Do you feel like you could qualify for the Olympics in power walking?
Hell no.
I wonder like how fast they're like what's the time?
I don't know what the time or the distance is. I just know if you ask me, do you think you could qualify for the Olympics?
In
The
anything.
answer is no.
In
I
anything.
mean, with
It's
something
a
like
flat-
speed walking.
No, it's a flat
Alondra,
no.
Okay.
It just took me 17 minutes to get from my car to the studio. So no.
Okay,
I don't.
according to a 2019 study, most people can walk a mile in 15 to 22 minutes.
Yeah.
However, oh wait, no, this is not answering my question.
Again, you got to understand though, anybody competing in the Olympics in speed walking is doing this year round,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, they've got it down to an exact science.
Okay, Bilbo, who's our track and field correspondent, said speed walking, you can't have both feet above the ground at the same time. So you are never allowed to have both
I mean, my
of your
feet
feet
are
off the
always
ground.
above the ground, but
Off the ground.
6 minutes
Oh.
and 31 seconds per mile?
What?
Ooh, that is
That's like
mean.
running a mile.
Running,
No,
yeah.
there's no way.
I
So
swear that's
these
what this
they're
is
doing
saying.
631 miles and not getting both feet off the ground?
For example, in 2021, the men's gold medal winning time was 1 hour and 21 minutes, which is a pace of 6 minutes and 31 seconds per mile.
Okay. Hold on here.
This
Okay,
is not
we got to go to
walking.
Tom
break.
Bosworth holds the world record for the fastest mile walk with a time of 5 minutes and 31 seconds.
Bro, what? I'm out here with like a 170 heart rate trying to push 10-minute miles. And these dudes around here just walking him in 5?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Okay, let's go to break. Mailbag coming up next. And Taylor, give me some video. Okay, I'm going to need some speed walking video here to see what this actually looks like. That is insanity.
We do have breaking LSU baseball transfer portal news to get to when we come back as well.
Okay. For real.
For real.
Like for real. Like actual big transfer news. Just saw the chat. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Like we may actually have to push back mailbag a little bit. K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. Look, if you're building a home, don't forget about your window coverings, okay? I've told you all the time. In terms of like, you know how they talk about fighters being pound for pound? Window coverings may actually be the most important detail of your house, pound for pound. And what seems a little innocuous can change everything. And if you're exploring maybe wood over or faux wood, well, understand, look, real wood is lighter, more durable, more efficient. It's about the same price as well. What about them honeycomb shades? You're a shift worker and you need your room to be able to go from well lit to, pitch dark in seconds to dampen sound and everything. Check out those honeycomb shades. Check out what K to Z can offer you. K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Paul Mainieri, headed to South Carolina, will have the latest, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting report. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right there, lads. I really want to see the speed walking, but first, we're going to push back mailbag because we got some big news, guys. Wait a second. Is Ethan Petrie in the transfer portal from South Carolina? Anyway, big news as it appears that Paxton Kling has announced that he is entering the transfer portal. Paxton Kling is someone who, before SEC play, both last year and this year, seemed like he was kind of bursting onto the scene, only to kind of fall apart once SEC play began. An elite defender who just kind of increasingly lost his way at the plate. A guy with a ton of talent. What was it? Who were the two recruits that we were talking about the other day? It was Paxton Kling and somebody else who were like the top recruits that you got a few years ago. Like,
was it Bronzini?
Shoot the NFL draft, the MLB draft. I can't remember.
Jaden Newt?
Maybe it was Newt. Either way, Paxton Kling was a premier MLB prospect coming out of high school. And it's not, look, the guy's body's incredible. And he runs like a gazelle. And again, it felt like he could hit. I remember at the beginning of this year, Jay Johnson literally came on here one day and told us, I think you're witnessing the birth of the next great LSU superstar. And it just all went awry once SEC play began. It's such a mental game that it's almost like you could feel him mentally, the situation exacerbating and him getting deeper and deeper and kind of more and more loss. And I think when things go that badly, Jake, sometimes a fresh start is needed. And so it feels that maybe Paxton Kling's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think you look up and the outfield's already set for LSU as well, with Brown and Larson, and if Pearson comes back like we think, and so like where's your playing time going to come from? And he does have a skill set. There's no denying that. But also, skill set only gets you so far. You have to have a plan. You have to take that skill set and put a plan into action. And it didn't look like he had a plan at the plate for the last 2 years. Yeah. Certainly this year, T. How many times did he come up with less than 2 outs, runner on third? You're fast as hell. That's your best tool, right, is your speed, and you don't put the ball into play. Right, and so many times, like you were wanting him to make the adjustment, shorten his swing, just put the ball in play because you're putting pressure on the defense because of how fast you are, and just never made that adjustment. Now, the field was always there. Like, that's why he was a defensive replacement in almost every single game, because he was a guy that could certainly take runs off the board, but, I mean, the bat just never matched what it was supposed to be, and the plan of action never changed from trying to hit bombs to just getting on base.
Man, don't cry because it's over. Smile because Lynn Rollins at least got to call Kling Kong multiple times last year. Only once this year. But, God, I used to love those Kling Kong calls. Maybe that's why I always thought he was going to be really good, because those calls were so good. But how big of a deal is it?
Again, I think your starting outfield was already set.
I think that it is. I would say that, and I don't think y'all are maybe as high. Or I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think that, again, I still see the potential in Paxton Kling, and so it's like a potential loss. But after 2 years of not just the potential being unrealized, but kind of the backsliding that took place, I don't know that he'll ever, like, I don't have a ton of faith. I don't have a ton of faith that he would have ever unlocked it here. Again, it feels like a situation where
he it's probably best for both parties. He probably needs a fresh start himself. Go get new eyes on him, new coaching, and you connect with coaches in different ways. Sometimes guys can bring you to heights and explain things to you that other guys couldn't get through to you. And so maybe he just needs that. Maybe he goes to South Carolina, and go with Coach Mainieri and see if he, or wherever he wants to go, right? He just needs some fresh eyes on him, and it's probably best for him. So, but yes, functionally for LSU, Jake, like you laid out, you kind of already have your outfield potentially next year set, depending on who rises and falls. And again, with 2 years in the books, 2 years of evidence, and losing playing time, well, I understand why you kind of want to transfer also, because it really feels like you're running the risk of being buried on the depth chart at a year when, if you want to accomplish your baseball dreams, you have to go find playing time.
Yeah, he'll have plenty of suitors. There's going to be multiple opportunities.
Because the potential's there.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple opportunities for him to go to big programs. Right? He's going to have ACC, Big 12, SEC teams, certainly, that are going to want to try to do what you said, because it's just like the first-round quarterback that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
There's a coach out there that believes that he can get the most out of that first-round quarterback. He wasn't maybe, given the best in his first stop, right, wrong, or indifferent, and we're going to take him and we're going to figure out and unlock what we thought was there all along. And so he's going to have his opportunities. It's just not going to be at LSU. He realized that, so now he moves on.
Yeah, so it's you don't get better losing to Paxton Kling, but you also don't get demonstrably worse. But it's easily the biggest. What's a bigger name to hit the portal, him or Cam Johnson?
Cam Johnson.
Yeah,
both
Cam Johnson.
about equivalent coming out of high school in terms of where they're viewed by the MLB as really, really premier prospects that were flirting with that line of, do I go to college or do I go to the pros?
Yeah, but in terms of what the team needed, Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he's a guy that a lot of
fair.
people were like, hey, if he could get his control figured out, like he could possibly factor into a starting role. Like there were a lot of people who expected that.
He was given opportunities this year, and didn't take those opportunities. So that's why he's not on the postseason roster, which I'm sure didn't sit well with him. But he at least got action. You gave him the opportunity to go out there, and you could lay a plan out for him to get back onto the field for you. He just, for whatever reason.
And look, if nothing else, Jay Johnson is going to, he's not going to coddle at the expense of the team. And so, yes, if you get left off of a postseason roster, that is highly disappointing, but it's because Jay Johnson knows what bullets he has to bring to the fight in order to give LSU a chance to be successful. And I would say when you look at how they handled themselves in that Chapel Hill Regional against an unquestioned top 5 team in the entire country, that on paper was much, much better than you. Like on paper, that UNC team was miles better than you, and yet you were still 2 outs away. I would say that he made the correct roster choices in doing so. Like Will Helmers, left off last year, gets brought this year, comes through for the boys when they need him most. Yeah. The saddest part of this baseball season may be not honoring that incredible Will Helmers performance by finding a way to win that game. But still, yeah, I don't doubt Jay Johnson's, like, where you're going to take Cam over Helmers? No, I don't doubt Jay Johnson's roster management there. God, I just remembered about that first inning and how absurd that game looked, and then the fact that you held them for that first inning to the ninth. Whatever, doesn't matter.
And they're moving
still hurts.
on to Omaha.
I know.
It still hurts.
It still hurts.
Like
Anytime
all last weekend, I was like, I could be at the box right now. Like
it's like you get those little random It's like when you do something that's very cringy.
Yes.
And you try to forget it, and then you'll be doing something random. You're like, oh God, why did you do that? Yeah. Oh, I just remembered. Yeah. Question: how many players transferred away from LSU baseball became stars elsewhere? I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to think about it.
I can't think of it.
It's not a ton.
No.
Well, but that's any transfers in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because
football's a little bit different, though, just because the portal's so crazy in football.
Yeah, but also guys like Tanks are kind of the exception, not the rule, where generally if you're transferring, it's because things have gone awry.
I'm trying to...
Like that's the thing. Like LSU's brought in more quality transfers than people transferring out.
Yes, but again, this is all that's how am I trying to say this? this is a function of the dynamics because LSU is one of the premier schools in the country.
Yeah.
So the only time people transfer for being too good is when they want to make a leap up. LSU in baseball represents a leap up over almost any school.
The ones transferring out are lost favor, like a Patrick Queen.
Exactly. At an elite program a lot of times. And they want to go somewhere else so they can find that play. So, yeah, that's just a function. Like, LSU should always operate in that regard, where they're going to be losing guys that have been kind of disappointing maybe, but then gaining guys that have kind of shined elsewhere.
I actually cannot think of any.
Yeah, again, but again, that's because of the dynamics of the situation.
You've had guys, transfer to ULL, UNO. Drew Bianco went to Houston. I'm trying to find one that I'm probably forgetting about that's blinking. But
I mean, who knows? I don't know how those guys did at those smaller schools either, right? Like, maybe they went and had a lot of success, but why would we know? I'm not watching Houston baseball regularly, so I don't know. All right, when we get back, do you want to do mailbag? Continue to push it back? What do you want to do? Do you want to do more transfer portal? I don't think there's a ton more. We got another name in the transfer portal that we had in here to add. LSU adding another pitcher. We get to that, then we'll do mailbag. Get your question in the chat. 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go Tommies! Geaux Tommies. It's Tommies. Windows. Doors and siding. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. You need to get Tommy's, okay? Make them one of the bids, in fact. That's how confident I am that you're going to be blown away by Tommy's attention to detail, by Tommy's plan for you, by Tommy's customer service, by his charisma. 27 years Tommy's has of experience in this game. And, after 2 decades of working for somebody else, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to do things because there's things I do a bit better, things I do things my way. And he's accomplished that. But don't believe me. Again, put it to the test. I'm not even telling you, just use them outright. Make them one of your bids, have them out to your home, and let them prove to you why they are the correct choice for your job. Invest in yourself. Invest in your greatest asset, your home, with Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Esco joins us from Las Vegas, and the field for the College World Series is set. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. Is this cake?
Yes.
And a long jacket. Hey.
I'm so proud of you for knowing that.
Does Cake sing the Jedi song? You don't know what I'm talking about? All right, I don't think we're going to have enough time for mailbag here. But let's get into some more transfer portal news. Taylor, you had a basketball portal stirred.
Yeah, Coleman Hawkins played his college career in Illinois. He was actually in the NBA Combine, pulled his name out a couple days ago. He's the number one player left in the transfer portal. He's going to be visiting LSU on June 17th.
Okay.
And it seems like he just had a visit of Kansas State. He wants to check out LSU, though. I mean, 12 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. He shot 45%, 38% from three as a 6'10 forward. So,
damn.
I mean, he's got size and he can stretch it shooting the three. So, let's see if Matt McMahon can get it done.
Hell yeah. Other transfer portal news, LSU baseball has added righty South Florida pitcher Chandler Dorsey. Big kid, 6'4", 220 is Dorsey. Not overwhelming numbers. I mean, very good. A 3.60 ERA in 30 innings. First non-JUCO transfer for the Tigers this offseason. So, again, adding kind of to the mix here. There hasn't been a massive splash, I wouldn't say, in the portal yet, but you have added arms at a time when you're losing arms, you're replacing them with new ones. So, just keeping you all up to date on what exactly is going on.
Yeah, those baseball moves, they're starting to play out a little bit, but it's still a little slow paced. It will pick up, and you'll be in Omaha and you'll hear of teams adding. Remember, LSU added at this time last year Braswell from South Carolina.
That's true.
He was somebody
That
in the
worked out
portal.
pretty damn well.
They went and got him as LSU was trying to make their title run. So we'll start getting more and more of these, I think, day by day.
When are we going to know when are we going to know when guys are declaring for the draft or not? Taylor, do you know off the top of your head? Way to disappoint me again. All right, we'll just do mailbag for this, and then next segment, let's do a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
OTB mailbag. With the challenge of summer content, have you all considered a strategic plan to pick off Murphy, Sam, and Jody listeners? What would be some actionable items? We're going to assassinate Murphy, Sam, and Jody. The question is, Do we do it ourselves or do we pay one of y'all to do it?
You have to pay. You can't have blood on your own hands.
I want to feel Murphy, Sam,
I
and Jody's
agree,
blood
but
trickle through my fingers when
for
I
getting
garrote
away
them
with
from
it
behind with a piano wire.
So I don't know when you have to declare, but the draft is in July. So.
They pushed it back.
Oh, did they?
From when? No. July now. Remember, it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be like
Yeah.
right now, right?
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do you expect heavy penalties in the Barrett Mid-Market Morning Show ratings for failing to adhere to the minimum daily Caitlin Clark hot take requirements?
We did one yesterday. She's a loser for not making it on the USA Olympic team.
So the irony of this is, who wrote this has been very happy that we haven't talked about Caitlin Clark, but he's also said it a lot. So he's kind of ironically ended up with that thing, be careful fighting monsters lest you become one.
Yeah.
Where he's ironically talking about how, God, I hate talking about Caitlin Clark as I'm consistently bringing up Caitlin Clark. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Is LSU's shot record in Omaha Jeopardy being broken?
No.
Absolutely not.
Not this group.
No chance. No chance. Because nobody's going to have Todd Graves or Gordon McKernan roll in and just buy a ton.
Well, not only that, like Tennessee
The
was in it
group,
last
yeah.
year. They performed bad. Like I thought they were going to do a lot better than they did. Florida's never been particularly good at it. And then, NC State.
A&M?
Who's going to be the team?
A&M doesn't drink.
Yeah, A&M drinks like fuzzy navels and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not taking Jello shots.
Isn't that kind of what a Jello shot is? A little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did Hebert get his hair to do that the same way Cameron Diaz did in Something About Mary? Yeah. Took my jacket off, and then I did my hair. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did you see Drew and Cam's video riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure together? I did not, because I still don't want to be spoiled on the ride as a whole. I've only allowed myself glances of the animatronics. Like even when they had the side by side, I didn't watch the whole video because I don't want to see it all. Was it good though? Anybody watch it?
Yeah, I sent it in
Cam Jordan and you see it in the group?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam Jordan and Drew Brees rode Tiana together. That makes me happy, those two being together.
Yeah, it's cute.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Have you seen the new Bad Boys movie? I don't think I've seen past Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, me either.
I saw the one they made, 2 years ago?
Is that For Life?
That's probably like 5 years ago now.
Yeah, whenever it was, yeah.
There's 3, there's For Life. Is there a 5th already? I know another one's coming out.
I think this is 4, right?
No, they had Bad Boys For Life, right?
Yes, but I think it was
Yeah,
the
but I think
third
it was
one.
actually the third.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I think they just called
There
it
is
Bad
no
Boys,
way
so-
Bad
Hang
Boys
on.
For Life was the third
I'm pretty
Bad
sure
Boys.
it was, unless
there cannot that
Why would they
cannot
mess
be
that
the
up
case.
like that?
Because that was like they're saying in the movie was Bad Boys for Life.
So I'd wait for the 4th movie to name it.
Yeah,
that.
Alondra, they're wrong. They got to be wrong.
No, here it is. Look, Bad Boys in 95, Bad Boys 2 in 03, Bad Boys for Life in 2020, and then Bad Boys Ride or Die 2024.
Seems like a missed opportunity.
Why not just
The
name the other
original
one
Bad
Ride or
Boys
Die?
was 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah, 95.
Yeah, bro, Martin was hidden.
Oh, Martin was fantastic.
But
great show.
In
Maybe
their
my favorite.
defense, it's a poor title, but it is FOR and not the number 4. So I don't know if that matters.
Again, you're missing the point, Taylor. Shut up.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Let's
4
close
is a
out.
number,
Shut
T-Bob.
up. Shut up right now. Let's close out hour 2 with some more mailbag when we get back.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
God, that's unbelievable. That in all the marketing for For Life, I just assumed I had missed Bad Boys 3 somewhere along the way. Was it good? Was For Life good?
Was what?
Was it as good as getting Gordon to fight for you if you get in an accident? Is Gordon fighting for you in an accident Bad Boys 2? The equivalent of the scene where Will Smith is like back against the wall with guns pointing either side, one of the coolest movie scenes ever? You know, if you were ever to find yourself in a Hummer trampling favelas in Brazil and you get run over by like an 18-wheeler, well, guess what? You call 225-888-8888. You get Gordon, you get it done. Or because you're in Brazil, you might need to go to getgordon.com and fill out that free consultation form. Get somebody who's going to fight for you. Stand up to the big insurance companies. Get you what you deserve. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon. That's Get Gordon. Get Gordon, get it done today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. The College World Series field is set. Sharif Ishak talking Saints from minicamp, and Glenn West from Go 24/7 talking Tigers. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
There's my own house party because nobody came. I know, man, when you thinking you make in high school. I used to love Sum 41. God. I thought this song was so cool. I don't want to waste my time from another casualty society. Is this Canadian? Sum 41 Canadian?
Are they?
Bilbo says, wow, Canadian music, SMH.
I love Alanis Morissette. But yeah, they're Canadian.
By the way, that clip that you sent of the Edmonton Oilers girl doing the interview,
Yeah.
She
Very
is
cringe.
as Canadian. Everybody kept saying that. I don't agree, but
I thought
whatever.
it was a little cringe.
I just thought
It
she's
felt
just
a little
like
awkward.
I just thought well, I mean, you know, it is kind of awkward subject matter.
Yeah, like
it's just a bunch of guys be like, "Are your boobs real?"
I mean, that's why I was
Yeah.
like, and they asked, they were like, "Is that rude to ask?" And she was like, "No, I think I would have been like, bruh."
No,
but the
that's
thing
how she
is,
got famous. Like that should have been the first question. They asked it like third.
my biggest takeaway
I
is
guess.
just that she's just a real hockey ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she is a Canadian, tough, outdoorsy hockey ball. That like she is as Canadian as hockey lover as it comes. I didn't think she was cringe. I thought they were maybe a little cringe.
I didn't think she seemed whatever, but like the people that were interviewing her seemed very cringe.
Hashtag go to mailbag. What's up with Baton Rouge people calling each other coach? I don't know, dude. I've never understood it. But
oh my God, they love calling people
just
coach.
like a thing.
Buzzy and Doug.
Yeah, and it's like the true Baton Rouge natives. That's how you know. That's how you know. It's
how you
always
know
the
you're
true
from
Baton Rouge
Baton Rouge.
natives.
Bro.
Hashtag go to mailbag. When
me
going to the
coach.
movies, are you sneaking anything in? The best thing I ever snuck into a movie was a full box of Chinese food.
Yeah.
Sesame chicken, lo mein, which, by the way, I saw a video on Twitter yesterday, but I think it came out of a Panda Express test kitchen. I don't know if it's widely available.
All right.
But a little panda burrito.
Interesting.
Lo mein, chicken, some other stuff, all wrapped up in a tortilla. Who says no?
Chinese food's impressive to
I don't
sneak
know
in.
about
That's a
the
good
noodles.
We've done an In-N-Out, 2 burgers, 2 fries. Ooh, I just had spasm.
Yeah, I can
2
tell.
burgers, 2 fries, 2 drinks.
I did a
in
Hell
Katie's
yeah,
diaper
dude.
bag one
Hell
time.
yeah.
Italian submarine from
And
like a
then
po'
you
boy
just have a
place.
diaper
my
ready to go
gosh.
after you finish those animal-style fries.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait, what?
I did an Italian submarine from a place in Newly, so I snuck
Oh,
it in.
hell
Snuck
yeah,
it into
Newly sounds
Celebrity
great.
Theater.
Shout out Celebrity. I think they're no, forget. No.
Nope.
We're not.
No.
We're not.
No
You're right.
free
You're right.
did
My
it.
bad. My
You
bad.
just had it.
I'm in a
Almost
toxic.
had
I'm
him.
in a toxic relationship. Alondra, have you ever stuck anything in? Nerd? Loser? Nothing?
Yeah.
What are you, just so afraid to break the rules?
Yeah. I'm a rule follower. No, I don't know. I can't think of anything. We used to sneak like McDonald's dollar menu in.
Probably one of the worst was when I ate too many edibles and went to see Lord of the Rings alone when they re-released it, and I started to freak out, and then I felt like I was freaking everybody else out. That was just a real uncomfortable spot to be in. Hour 3, Nick Underhill next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel younger, better, stronger, faster, like you used to? Fight the effects of untreated aging? Well, Rejuve Me can help in all of these regards. You got mood, memory problems, energy, confidence, irritability. Like all of this is tied in, okay? And I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, male, female, whatever the case may be, go to Rejuve Me. Get a free consultation in which they draw your labs. They see where your body's deficient, where it's okay, and they customize a plan for you to achieve your max potential. Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Go there today, get your consultation set up, find a list of conditions that they can treat for you. Maybe you're just going through something. Maybe you don't see what you're going through on that list. That is okay, because once you get the consultation all set up, they'll get to the bottom of it over at Rejuve Me, RejuveMeMedical.com. Throughout Louisiana, also in Mississippi, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at GuaranteeMedia.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, June 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 94. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll be joined by Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. Then at 9:15, Devin Snowhops on the show as well. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome in, OTB. Saw it. Hour number 3 right now. It is my distinct pleasure to talk to a man that we talk to every Tuesday and have for years now at 9 a.m. That is the owner, operator, and face of New Orleans Football, an excellent writer in his own right. I've been a proud NOF subscriber for many, many years now. It's about the price of a cup of coffee for a month, you know. And you get unparalleled access into your favorite NFL team. Him, Mike Triplett, the entire team doing really good work. You can also sub to him on YouTube, everything else. Go check him out. It's Nick Underhill. Nick_Underhill. Nick, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Doing well. Why is all of chat telling me to ask you about tattoos? Did you get a tattoo? Did you get a finger tattoo, a face tattoo?
Ask about my tattoos?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you?
I got a couple.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple finger tattoos. You know, I don't know. I guess that's kind of like the I'm never gonna go back to work for anybody else, so I'm just gonna do this. And
wait, so these are new? These are new finger tattoos?
Yeah, they're 2 of them are. Yeah, 2 of them are. I got 3. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just kind of like, you know, just the I don't know, man. It's just kind of one of them things that personal motivation. They tell you can't do it, so just I'm gonna do it, and
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna succeed my own way, and I'm not going back, you know. So I'm locked in, man. So no one can tell me what to do except my wife. She likes them, so I'm good, you know. So
yeah, bro,
that's
do
what
your
we're
thing.
going
You
with.
look great, by the way. You're looking pretty svelte today, Nick. Which, I mean, to be fair, from when we first met, I think I would say both of us have had kind of a glow up from maybe our earlier days. But yeah,
No doubt about it.
I guess that's kind of interesting. I've never really considered that. Like, yeah, when you go to work for yourself, all of a sudden societal expectations do not apply for you anymore. So this is you like the way to you have to get a face tat. Basically,
No,
that is the way. No. How committed are you, Nick? Because once you go face tat, you are all in. Like this is a heavy bet, but face tat is all the chips to the center, and there is no going back to normal society.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm badass enough to pull off a face tat. Like I can maybe get away with the finger. Like I'm on the fringe of that, but the face tat, like I don't know. Like I can't. Like I don't have enough. I don't have enough there. Like I'm getting.
You got to
a little
have
too old
ultimate
for it too.
swag, like ultimate confidence to pull off a face tat. Because
Yeah,
otherwise
I'm not
you're going to
quite
walk
there.
around. You're just going to walk around self-conscious 24/7. I already said if I had made the NFL, I would have gotten like a sleeve or a half sleeve. But alas, such is life.
You can still do it, man. You can still do it.
Hell, no. No, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think so. All right, let's get into New Orleans Saints. OTAs continue to go on, and this may be a bit of a faux pas, so I apologize, okay? But one of my other favorite Saints writers, along with NOF, I love NOF, has always been Jeff Duncan, wherever he's been at. And he had a headline that kind of proposed an interesting question that I would like to pose to you and get your opinion on. And it was, are the Saints right now? Because when you look, I think they have like the least amount of bets on them to win the Super Bowl. Nobody feels particularly high about them. They're over on the win totals at 7.5 in a 17-game season. Are the New Orleans Saints right now, in your opinion, after a couple weeks of OTAs here, getting his eyes on this team, are they overlooked or are they overwhelmed? Is this a team where there is some value, some juice to be had, or are they just as bad as the kind of hive mind is pointing them out to be?
I just kind of like rolled my eyes a little bit at myself because like this is the time of year. Like I buy in every year, like around now.
Yeah,
Like, it's
I'm
just,
kind of
like, right
buying
around
it
now.
too, dude. I feel you. I feel it.
Like, and I know I'm gonna end up being wrong about it, but I mean, I feel like I have like a semi decent sound thought process here. Like if the offensive line is even a little bit worse, but you bring in better coaching, you have an offensive identity, you have a plan. Their single high for a single player high in rushing yards last year was 80. The 80 yards was the high, and I think they only had somebody go over 70, maybe 2 other times off the top of my head. You know, I feel like they could probably be a team that could get a 100-yard rusher. I feel like they're going to do a better job of like building off some of the stuff. And we saw it at the end of the season last year, just kind of what play action could do for a shaky offensive line. There's a lot of maybes on the defensive line. It doesn't feel like all of them can go wrong. Like if one of them is a yes, like you're better than you were last year at that spot. And that's like between Chase Young, Cam Jordan. I think, Cam Jordan being just realistic. Like I think if he gets just healthy, like he'll be slightly better. I don't think there's like a turn back the clock. Like, this is the foundational piece of your pass rush, but like I think he can be a little better than he was last year. Isaiah Foskey, if he can give you anything, if Peyton Turner can give you anything, if one of those 4 things is yes, you're going to be better on the defensive line than you were a year ago. I am concerned about wide receivers still. I don't think they did enough to address it, and I don't know if my perception is real or not. And I think minicamp's going to be good for it. I mean, I think at the beginning of this process, like A.T. Perry looked really good in the first practice, and then the next 2 kind of got quieter, and it's like, okay, well, why'd that happen? And is it because they're installing more and like he's kind of, it's kind of slowed him down a little bit, or did we just catch him on weird days? Like we saw 3 out of 9 practices. Like I think seeing all 3 of these kind of will help. I have no impression of Kendre Miller so far, which I think is kind of a bad thing at this point. And if I had to make a projection today, and obviously there's going to be a lot more new information between now and the opener, but if you just said you got to make a decision today based on what you've seen, I would have Jamal second and Kendre Miller third on the depth chart. But I mean, obviously so much can change, but I think it's been a little bit slow going for him so far. So I'm kind of down on those things, but I think overall, like, I think if they're the same, I think if they're worse on the offensive line, but you add in better offensive line coaching, taking some of the other factors, like it has to be kind of the same, right? Like it feels like it. I don't see how they're going to be significantly worse. I think they can win the same amount of games.
I cannot have them as worse. I cannot believe they're going to be worse.
I think they could win the same amount of games and you'd feel different about it. Like I think it could be the same outcome somewhere in that, that 500 range, and you can't be 500 anymore. So there's a variance 1 game each way. Like if you're somewhere in that range, like I think you could feel better about the outcome just based on how it looks. Like if you took last season and just flipped it and put it on its head and they started out how they did and then finished, and then it would be like, oh, well, Derek Carr got hurt and there were some of these like other things and, it slowed down and you lost Alvin Kamara for 3 games. And, I think it would just look different and the feel would have been different, but it started off like ass and then got okay at the end. But like, you kind of never got that taste out like from how the season started. And I think they just got to kind of figure out, how to start a little bit better. But I think it could be the same and you feel better. But I don't see them being that much worse. Like, I don't know, the way the schedule sets up, it could hit a rut quick and it goes off the rails.
It's
But
rough.
it's just kind of, I don't know. It feels way too negative to me, and I think it's just kind of somewhere in the middle. Like, and I think that's the conversation with everything with them. Like Derek Carr right now is somewhere kind of in the middle. Dennis Allen is, as the Saints coach, has been somewhere kind of in the middle. Like, and being mediocre in the NFL is kind of the worst thing in the world because there's just kind of, how do you get better if you're worse? There's this idea that you can get better by being worse. It's often not true, but being in the middle is the most frustrating thing in the world. So I get the feeling locally, but I don't think it's this cocktail of crap that, like, it kind of seems like everybody thinks it is right now. Like, I think it's mid. Like, I think it's just right in the middle.
And look, objectively, again, like, it's easy to hand wave away the last 6 weeks of offense from last season because of the frustration. But it's like, okay, if you could do that in that system, which we kind of all agree wasn't really setting yourself up for success, like, you should be able to have more in this system. And so, look, I get it, right? This is a Saints team where the main questions are arguably O-line, pass rush, and quarterback. The three most important, like, elements of football. But there are reasons to believe that you can maybe answer those questions positively. Here heading into minicamp, excuse me, how do we feel about, with a couple more weeks of looking at it, the kind of continued evolution? What are the players saying about Clint Kubiak? As we for these offseason conversations, Kubiak is the panacea. He is the reason that you're going to hitch your wagon to if you want to believe that this Saints team can overachieve.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody's up. It's the vibe around it is significantly different than it was a year ago. And the one thing that I kind of like, it stands out, like, you just hear it, like, you hear coaching, you see people getting corrected, you hear people getting yelled at, and, like, that just kind of wasn't really happening last year. There's more enforcers on that side. I think Kubiak's just more vocal than Carmichael. Keith Williams, the wide receivers coach, is just he's kind of like that Curtis Johnson. Like, Curtis Johnson kind of was the guy that could, like, just check people, and you saw it. And I think that's important. I think you kind of need some of those people around, and I think they were missing that on that side of the ball. I think he can kind of be one of those guys, and he does it, like, in a with a smile, kind of, so it comes off like the right way. And look, he coached at Fresno when Derek Carr was there, and I think that's important too. Like, I think all that stuff adds in, but I think the staff, I think there's a lot of optimism. I think there's just a different feel. Like, you're out there and it just feels different. Last year, being in that locker room, it felt like incredibly heavy. Like, there was just, you felt the cloud. There was a sense of sorrow almost, like, and just every interaction of frustration. How does it get better? The fact that they came out of it at the end of the season is still shocking to me. 6 months removed, looking back at it, like, I don't know how they figured it out, but they did. But it's a different feel right now. And then, we'll see if Alvin's out there. I think he will be. I know for sure Marshawn Lattimore is going to be there. That's big. That kind of takes a little bit of that cloud away a little bit. So I just think the vibe around the team in general is just it's better. Like, it just feels different. It feels like, a fresh start. Like, and that's exactly what it is. And I think that was badly needed here. Yeah.
Yeah, after nearly 2 decades. So that's kind of answering the O-line question to some extent, and the quarterback. Exploring the pass rush. Look, I'm excited for Chase Young. If there's anything to update there injury-wise, feel free. But
I think there's I think he has, like, a checkup soon, and, like, there's supposed to be an update. But yeah, it's still kind of up in the air. But look, I know, like, he's around. People say his attitude's good, like, all that stuff. So, I mean, at least that aspect of it sounds good.
So, but another piece, I mean, is the Isaiah Foskey piece. And it's funny because Foskey and Penning are in similar boats to me in terms of guys who you got to feel like there's, I don't know, maybe if the ceiling will ever be what maybe you once thought it was, but there's more there on the floor to be had. And y'all have a piece up right now talking to Isaiah Foskey and trying to kind of overcome the quote mental block that stymied him. What is Foskey doing to try to find the success that just completely eluded him in year one?
Him struggling last year was kind of one of the bigger surprises for me because he has the pedigree, like Notre Dame production against real teams.
Yeah,
Like,
this
he's
wasn't
in
like
the
one of your Marcus Davenport or Peyton Turner's like RAS draft picks. Like, no, this was because we always complain like, why not get the guy who just gets a ton of sacks? Like, well, he did.
Yeah, yeah, like in that, Penning is in the same boat, but like he's more understandable because he comes from like it's a small school, and you look back at it and you're like, yeah, like there were probably things there that got overlooked just due to the height, weight, speed factor of it, and Foskey felt like, yeah, he was raw, but like he had ways to win, and he was winning against real people, and I thought he was going to come in, and that was my thing when they picked him, like, well, he'll come in and probably have production right away, and he'll get better over time. That mental block, I guess, is a real thing though, and it's something that he struggled with big time last year. And I think part of it for him is just figuring out how to struggle. When you're kind of a highly touted guy, you go to Notre Dame, like you probably haven't faced real adversity ever, and then trying to figure that out is something that you got to figure out. And I don't know. He says he has. We're gonna see. I mean, I would be shocked if he doesn't give them anything this year though. Like I would be shocked at a repeat of last season. And granted, there were injuries, but even when he was on the field, it just feels like, I don't know. I'm not willing to believe that there's nothing there yet. I think he's still someone that can be good. Like I think he'll be part of it. And even if it's just like 4 or 5 sacks, like that would be a nice little come up for the team. They wouldn't have to manufacture those 4 or 5 sacks. Like if you can kind of get them within the flow. And then, your third down package, if they decide to go 4 down, like if he's productive, that gives them another option, another body type. You put him on the edge. Maybe you kick one of the bigger ends to the inside. Like it just opens things up a little bit. So, I think it's highly important. I think he's going to give him something. If Peyton Turner can be healthy, like I still believe there's something there. I don't think he's a complete talent bust. Like it's an availability bust. I think if he can find a way to stay healthy, he can give him a little something. I'm not betting on him though.
No,
Chase Young's just a big question, man.
Yeah, wait till I prove it. So how are you feeling about the Chase Young situation?
It's I don't know. I have no idea. That was like it was it was like remember when they signed Dez and it was like the high and the low, like straight back to back.
One of the
like,
greatest
like
Saints that
with
never played.
Talent.
Oh, it was so good, dude. God.
Yeah, this is a guy like in his prime, but like it followed the same parallel. Like it was just like, oh man, they got Chase Young. Like this could work. This could be the answer. And then wait a minute, did they get Chase Young? Like, is he gonna play? Like, what's the deal? Like, I think he's gonna play. I like the signing. I think Chase Young has more to lose than the Saints. Like if Chase Young doesn't give him anything, like it's a few bucks. Like big deal, he's gone, he moves on. Like I think Chase Young has to find a way to get healthy. He has to find a way to be consistent so that he can make the money that his talent dictates he should make. But it's the things with him has been like, buying and consistency. I think the way this is set up, like he has to do both those things. He has so much to lose if he doesn't. So I think he's going to get healthy. I think he's going to get on the field. I think he's going to find a way. And I think he is going to be part of the temporary solution. Like, and then if he is, you re-sign him or you tag him. And, if you look at the 2-year average, if you tag him and you say, okay, got 2 seasons and you kind of do the divided by 2, like it'd be a worthwhile endeavor at that point. And it buys you another year to maybe draft the defensive end that you're going to need because Peyton Turner's come to the end. Cam Jordan's kind of at the end. You don't really have great answers with Foskey. Granderson's a good piece, but I don't think he's kind of what you're hang your hat on. But like maybe it ends up being Chase Young long term. But I think they're in a good situation there. I think he's gonna do something. He's gonna give him something. They didn't really pay him anything. I think he's gonna exceed the dollar value on his contract. It's just a matter of like by how much.
Yeah, so much to lose and also so much to gain for Chase Young. Well, Nick, thank you so much, man. As always, waking up with us here every single Tuesday, 9 a.m. New Orleans.football is the site. Again, guys, if you're not subscribed already and you're a Saints fan, what are we doing? Go check it out, New Orleans.football, and also subscribe to the NOF YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Nick. You have an excellent morning, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy, brother. Alondra, you say you have a tattoo?
I have 3.
Okay, you have 3 tattoos. So let me see. You have a butterfly tattoo.
Nope.
You have a black outline tattoo of a flower. And then you have what? Live, laugh, love on your shoulder? This is all thing that chat is telling me.
That's what they think that I have. And I don't know what about me says that I'd have live, laugh, love anywhere on my body, but no. Those are all wrong. Somebody said Coors Light, and that's actually hilarious.
Do you have a lower back tattoo?
I don't.
Good.
I do.
Well, I know. I've seen it. A lot. Doesn't look bad.
It says enter here.
Maybe it's what, yeah, exactly. maybe it's just what's going on when I've seen it that has me in the right headspace. But no, Taylor actually does have though like the thorns around his bicep. That's this guy.
wire.
Yes, the
Barbed
barbed.
wire.
My bad. Yeah,
Like,
the barbed wire around his bicep.
A tribal tattoo.
Taylor with a tribal tattoo would be objectively very funny and inappropriate and stupid.
Yeah.
I could have a tribal tattoo.
No, I mean you could.
Yeah.
You know, I could.
You can have any tattoo you want.
Yeah, you can do anything you want, really. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that would be so funny, dude. You just showed up and be like, Taylor, I don't think this was a good idea. You know, on a few different levels.
I mean,
I think you should
Look,
not have done this.
Your body, your choice, but
Yeah.
I don't think you should get this tribal tattoo.
No, Scott, I don't think Taylor really has a lower back tattoo. I'm sorry. Is it a cross? Fawn says, Alonzo.
Yeah, so he actually nailed it.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
exactly what I have.
There you go.
A cross and a rose.
For real?
Not together, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Separate.
When we get back, see if we catch up with the guy. Hold the mail. Keep it locked to OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Taylor's tattoo reads property of Jerry Jones. Established. What year were you born?
1996.
There you go. Property of Jerry Jones, EST period 1996. Go to Coleman Roof. Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, and most complete roofing company. Guys, I keep telling you every single day. For your project, the only answer is Coleman Roof because they can handle any project. Residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. They can handle any type of roof. They can do it anywhere in the state and anywhere in the Gulf South region. And they also do construction. So you have a home fall in your home. You have a tree fall in your home during these recent storms. Well, they'll actually rebuild the house and the roof, right? The interior as well. Like something more, maybe, a bit less insane. You have a leak, it gets into the insulation, into the drywall, messes it up. Well, they rebuild all that and fix the roof leak. Come on, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals.
But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Paul Mainieri, headed to South Carolina, will have the latest, and Shay Dixon joins us for a recruiting report. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, y'all. So, welcome back, OTB. Rolling right along. So, I think we're going to catch up with Dev later. We'll save top 10 quarterbacks for tomorrow. And maybe, okay. What happened to that? I had a tweet about the ACC in here. Okay. I'm trying to think about what I think most interesting. We have a lot that we can still get to. I should mention this because we haven't yet. Mayor Cantrell has declared today Back That Ass Up Day in New Orleans. So 25 years ago today, Juvie, Manny Fresh, Lil Rain released what would go on. You know, to be pretty popular at the time, but one of those songs that has actually had more success over time, becoming a bit of a cultural phenomenon. So I hope that everybody celebrates Back That Ass Up today, or Back That Ass Up Day today. Like, I don't know how exactly you would seek to celebrate, but I don't know. Like, maybe when you're opening a door, turn around, just pop into it. Just pop that thing back there and open it with your butt instead of your hands. Like, there's many ways that you could honor Back That Ass Up Day, but just know today is Back That Ass Up Day.
I'm excited. You know, we were talking about Super Bowl summer, cleaning up New Orleans. I'm glad the mayor was like, let's get the most important issue figured out first. You put the national day in there, or citywide day, if you will. I enjoy it, dude. No, this is a big moment for the city.
I know it's the mayor's team going for kind of a cheap little PR win here, but don't let, like, all the real-life problems just take away from what's a fun little moment. And well-deserved for a couple of the city's heroes in Juvie and Manny Fresh. Shout out. So, if you a big, fine woman, enjoy today, okay? Because I love you. I've always loved you, to be fair. But today's for you, okay? Or a big, fine man, you know, for that matter. I mentioned NC. No, I don't want to do that. Actually, let's go with, you know what? Let's do this. Tay-Tay, you ready for a little Tay-Tay NFL story of the day?
Yeah, we can make it happen.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, we got some coaching news in the NFL. I mean, usually off-season is coaching changes season, but Mike Tomlin, the NFL's longest tenured head coach.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Pittsburgh a little bit longer. He signed a contract extension yesterday evening. A 3-year extension puts him in Pittsburgh till 2027. He's entering his 18th season at the helm of the Steelers. We always talk about the Steelers being one of the most well-put, well-run organizations in all of professional sports. They've had 3 head coaches since 1969.
I was about to say, so this is something that, it's funny, during the Sean Payton years when he had those run of 7 and 9 seasons, and there was starting to be a lot of heat about, why not maybe moving on. This is something that was reported on very widely, that the New Orleans Saints kind of view themselves in the same light as the Steelers, which you could say is a bit comedic given, the Steelers' success versus the Saints' history. But that's that kind of level-headed, almost be slow to react, or, be too slow. Like let something completely play out even if it ends up continuing to be bad, as opposed to maybe reacting rashly. And for what it's worth, I think, people aren't going to hear this because it's kind of why you still have Dennis Allen as well. But, like, objectively, I would say it's paid dividends for the Saints. Sean Payton made it through those 7-9 stretches, led you to one of the winningest 5-year stretches in franchise history, maybe the winningest from a raw regular season wins standpoint. And so, like, that putting your thumb on the scale for continuity and consistency, there's something to be said for it. Like, and yes, I know Steelers fans are a bit disappointed. Like, you talk to a lot of Steelers fans. In fact, the only couple that I know kind of hate Mike Tomlin now, but they only hate him because familiarity breeds contempt, right? Like it's the old Marvin Lewis conundrum where, okay, you take over the Bengals, they're god-awful. You make the playoffs 7 years in a row. That's incredible for where the Bengals were, but you never win a playoff game. In that same way, the Steelers never completely fall off. They're always in it. They're always 500 or better, but they have never achieved the heights that they did early on with the Super Bowl team that Tomlin had right after he took over for Cowers.
I mean, look, we know about Tomlin, right? Like, he's never had a losing season as an NFL head coach.
Which is insane, though.
Yes.
Which is actually wild.
Because at the end of Big Ben's career, Devlin Hodges got snaps at quarterback. I mean, last year, Mason Rudolph led this team to the playoffs. They got ousted in the wild card round of the playoffs last year.
That's
Kenny Pickett, as a
sense.
rookie, who a lot of people didn't even think was going to play as a rookie, led them to the playoffs in 2021. They didn't make it in 2022, but they still finished with a 500 record because Kenny Pickett was in and out of the lineup. You hadn't had a true offensive coordinator since Todd Haley about 4 or 5 years ago. Now, whose fault is that? Is that Tomlin? Is that the front office? I think it's a little bit of both. The only thing is he hasn't had a playoff win since 2016. That's kind of his biggest thing. The last 4 appearances, he is 0-4, but look at the quarterbacks he's had, look at the offensive coordinators he's had. He's a defensive-minded coach. His defenses are always incredible. I'm a Mike Tomlin fan. Like, if somebody today was like, Taylor, pick one guy to coach your NFL team, I'm probably picking Mike Tomlin. I mean,
I might go like John Harbaugh, but I do feel you.
Yeah. I mean, both of them. But, like, they run their organization
or
so
Andy
well.
Reid,
He's got 173 regular season wins. He gets 20 more, he'll have the record. He'll pass Chuck Noll. Chuck Noll has 193. What he's done's incredible.
DA in the chat continues to prove himself to be an idiot. He says, Tomlin had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Most coaches do well with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Again, like Taylor's kind of alluded to here, probably the most impressive thing that Mike Tomlin has done has been continuing to win and stay relevant and make the playoffs with Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph, Kenny. Like, these aren't just okay quarterbacks. These are bad quarterbacks in a league that is solely defined by quarterback. Give Mike Tomlin another great quarterback and see what happens, okay? And also, go look at guys like they coach Phillip Rivers. There's been plenty of coaches that have not done well with very good quarterbacks.
Never had a
Freaking
losing
idiot.
record. I mean, as great as the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era was in New Orleans, you just talked about it, right? Like, he had a couple 7-9 years mixed in there. He had a couple down years. Tomlin's never had that, even when he didn't have that superstar under center. And he's been to 2 Super Bowls. A lot of those coaches like a McCarthy, a Sean Payton, a Tomlin, all these guys that have that Super Bowl win and they've been consistent.
I forgot.
Tomlin's the only guy to ever make it back to his second one.
When
Aaron
did
Rodgers beat him.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
Back
I
in
don't
like
remember the
2010,
second. Okay, hell yeah.
So, I mean, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl win, never had a losing season. I mean, find me somebody who's better than Mike Tomlin that's still out there that's, coaching for 18 years.
NFL. Here's my story of the day. NFL will officially start doing digital measurements on spotting the ball in the preseason and will make a decision at the end of preseason whether or not they move forward. You know me. I'm not a fan of K-Zone in college baseball. You want in the MLB, that's fine. I think I'm a fan of spotting the football. This will apparently alert the referees right away if a first down has been reached. It takes a lot off the refs' plates, which I think is actually probably great for them. It allows them to signal things faster, potentially speeds up the game. And you know how in college you get a first down, the clock stops? That's all well and good, but like in the NFL, it doesn't. You have to respot the ball. This helps with spotting the ball quicker. I'll be very interested to see how this plays out in the preseason. I could be a fan of this. Even though you know me. I'm a little worried about the human element being taken out in some regards from sports, but not in this specific case. That's it. Take the NFL story of the day. We'll get back more at OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. CommunitySteelCo.com. CommunitySteelCo.com. Oops, sorry. You need steel? You need metal buildings, roofing, sheet metal, trim, purlin, tubing, all your accessories. What if I told you they were all local right here in Gonzales, high quality? What if I told you they're all manufactured locally and that, actually, there's a live and local human sales team that you could work with. So you drive over there, you meet with the team, you see the product, you touch it, you feel it before you buy it. When you work with them, you're not just another number on the balance sheet. You're not ordering through online order forms, getting answering machines. No, again, guys, you have relationships. So whether it's your personal steel needs, your business steel needs, you're getting served to the best possible degree, and you're getting the best prices because they buy straight from the wholesaler. They make it all themselves. Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Esco joins us from Las Vegas, and the field for the College World Series is set. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a while.
white guy.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I'm just picturing Taylor in like you know how like on Friday you just feel a little more confident, you got a great energy. Taylor's rolling around LP in his white Oakleys, listening to this song, ready to take over, ready to rock the weekend.
I don't know the song, but I did have a pair of white Oakleys at one point.
I was literally about to say, I don't even think Taylor knows this
Yeah,
song.
pretty fly for a white guy.
I mean, I've heard the say it, and I don't know the song.
This has big Dreamcast, Crazy Taxi energy. Can anybody confirm whether or not this was on the Crazy Taxi soundtrack on the second Dreamcast? How do we get this this recording of you and Victoria? White guy. Hey, are the NHL and NBA series over already?
Yeah. Wait, are they?
No, I mean,
NHL?
like, not like, no, they're not actually
they're
over, but are they
over.
Functionally over?
Yeah.
Panthers take a 2-0
yeah.
lead, dominate, come back, score 4 unanswered last night. Celtics, I mean, I don't know. The Celtics. Dallas is what? Kyrie Irving's lost 12 in a row now to the Celtics or something?
They had to have one of those games in Boston because I don't know if they're good enough to win both at home. And if they don't win both at home, they're done.
Remember, though, series never starts till somebody wins a road game.
Yeah.
Just saying. I only use this as a bridge to get to Dan Hurley because I love that Dan Hurley just trolled the Lakers and turned them down. I don't think we ever got to read the Hurley quote yesterday that I wanted to get to, but it was very funny. He was basically like, Lakers give me a great offer, but I love what I built at UConn. I'll let you know Monday. And he ended up letting us know, and he's going to remain at UConn. Bit of a very public snub for the Los Angeles Lakers. I would say kind of the latest in a line of snubs. Maybe this one's a bit different, though, because it's like a college coach. It's not an accomplished NBA coach you're going after, and you did. But okay, here's what I would ask you. They offered Hurley over $10 million a year, right? I think it would have made him the 5th highest paid coach in the NBA. Like 10-7 is for 6 years. As dumb as this sounds, is that a lowball offer?
Compared to what they said, I mean, some people said it was going to be $15-16 million a year.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought this was going to be a $100 million contract potentially. You come with 6 years, $70 million. I was surprised when I read it.
Why do you think Dan Hurley did not take the job? Given that, again, even the $10 million, UConn's not going to be able to get close to. Like, what's he making at UConn right now? Do we know his salary?
6 year, $32 million that he signed a year and a half ago. So, but he'll
get bumped up.
Yeah,
I'm sure one of the things in making him turn this job down was a significant salary increase.
But it was 6 year, $32 million.
I mean, look, I'm someone who always does believe there's something to be said for contentment. I still think Dan Hurley has NBA aspirations. I think this is more about, the money and everything is maybe an element. Maybe he felt like, I feel like this is more like you kind of look at the Lakers and it's like, how attractive a landing spot is that right now?
Well, and also they don't have the patience, right? Like Frank Vogel wins a NBA championship. Now, granted, it was the bubble and everything, but he's fired a year later.
Yeah.
Your best player is 40 years old. He's probably gone after this year.
Well, and Darvin Ham made a Western Conference Finals and fired a year later.
And you're gone in a year. And he was still in the playoffs this year. I mean, call it what you want, but he was there. He was in contention.
Nobody since Phil Jackson has made it 3 years. Has made it more than 3 years as the Lakers head coach.
Yeah, and I mean, you've had who? You've had Mike Brown. You've had Luke Walton.
I don't even know. It's been a lot.
You had Frank Vogel, who won the championship. You had Darvin Ham. I mean, you went through a lot of coaches. Anthony Davis played 72 games this year. That's great. Outside of that, he's been injured his entire career. What do you really have on that roster that you're like,
Rory
I
Hachimura.
can build on? Yeah. Hachimura.
Well, I think it's a couple things. Like I mentioned yesterday where I'm like, it's kind of like, I feel like Dan Hurley doesn't think he's hit his ceiling at UConn yet. Like he told Waj he wanted to go.
I also agree with that.
He wanted to go win a third straight national championship, and it's also kind of what y'all said yesterday, where LeBron is he gonna be coached by Dan Hurley?
I mean, I would also agree with that. I'd be very intimidated by the idea of being LeBron's coach, and don't hit me with like he tweeted TJ Redick he liked the offense. I think there is a massive gap between LeBron tweeting he likes your. I mean, LeBron loved David Blatt, didn't he? Like LeBron's loved plenty of coaches that he's brought
to the
in
finals
only
gone that season.
Yeah, only to later. Even though I do think that making the switch from Blatt to Ty Lue was the correct move there. And to be fair, Ty Lue just got a big extension with the Clippers, so he is a great coach. Whatever. The point is, I think the Lakers are a bit unattractive. Actually, the actual point is, suck it, Lakers.
Yeah.
You friggin' nerds. Have your little cocky ass California sunshine tanned up faces rubbed in your own excrement. Can't even hire the UConn coach. Can't even bring him out to the sunny state of LA out of the freaking freezing cold boring of Hartford, Connecticut. How far the mighty have fallen. Also, that 2020 championship doesn't count. It's a Mickey Mouse ring. Nobody cares about it. Like literally nobody cares about it or acknowledges it. Okay. So y'all suck, and yeah, that's it. That's
the only thing I guess positive you could say about the Lakers on the outside is like this is something they don't normally do. They don't try to hire the guy that's not easy to get, right? If they would have fired Darvin Ham 3 days later, been like, hey, we're hiring JJ Redick because he's young and hip and can relate to the players, that would have been a Los Angeles Lakers hire all day long. Like, I guess a little bit of credit to him for trying to hire Dan Hurley. Now, if this was the Oklahoma City Thunder with their young talent, I think Dan Hurley takes the job. To your point, I think that the Lakers are not
the job.
The Lakers are not the spot to be. He has said publicly he wants to be an NBA coach. I don't think it's in this spot, but no, I guess credit to him for trying to land the big fish. It would have been a long shot no matter what, but far too often they're just like, let's get the easy guy. Let's get an easy yes. And they did not do that this time.
And you sure got very publicly. You got turned down. You got snubbed. Oh, poor Jeannie.
I was saying yesterday that I think it's so funny that he took advantage of all the.
Me too. He went out there. And that's why I love Hurley.
Joel.
He trolled the hell out of him.
He took his whole family. Billy Joel concert, another concert some people saw him at as well. I don't know. Like he spent 3 days out there.
Smart.
And then when he flew back, to Connecticut without agreeing, you knew it was over.
He's like, okay, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Freaking nerds. All right, when we get back, close out the show, a little Ask the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. One more time to get the website's so nice, I'll say it thrice. PECbuilt.com. Hey, if you are a project manager or designer, I really want to encourage you to go to the website, get in touch with Pinnacle, and apply for a position. But I really want to encourage you to go to the website because I think you, more so than most, will appreciate what you see in the gallery there. And remember, it's all outdoor construction, be it outdoor living space, kitchen, completely custom pool, spec pool where you have a ton of options to customize and make it your own. Any size or type of fence, any bulkheads, pergolas, it's all there. But again, what I'm struck by is this is not your Soviet concrete gray, we may do pool. No, this is like there's an artisanship here, a beauty here that I think is going to blow you away. So if you want a pool, you want Pinnacle. Go to PECbuilt.com. That's PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers. The College World Series field is set. Sharif Ishak talking Saints from minicamp, and Glenn West from Go 24/7 talking Tigers. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Y'all, tired and y'all. Ask the Bench. You brought about Cold Coors Light, Busy, Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. Do you think there's advantage for teams with no state income tax and free agency? Florida, Nevada, Texas. Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's been something that multiple athletes have cited. I think it's also a disadvantage for places like California. However, I think California probably makes up for it with like a little bit of like LA, cool weather, all that kind of BS. But yeah, I mean, you're telling me if you're going to sign a multi-million-dollar deal that income tax wouldn't factor into your decision making? Ask the Bench, where can I find Breeze and Cam on the Tiana ride? Instagram?
Yeah. Or Twitter.
Probably Twitter.
Yeah,
you can search it. It's everywhere right now.
Ask the Bench, what is my top 5 must-dos at Universal Orlando with the family next week? Taylor, you've had a bit more experience. I would say, I don't know how old your kids are. My kids are young. They love Minions, so the Minion stuff was kind of fun.
Aww.
I mean, I don't know. If
love
you're a Harry
Minions,
Potter
too.
nerd, you have to do the Harry Potter stuff.
Oh, must.
I did not like Minions in the past, but it's grown on me through my
I
kids.
love Minions.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
They also have a brand new.
Give us your top 5, Taylor. Velocicoaster?
Velocicoaster,
yes?
if you're older. I mean, all the roller coasters there in Islands of Adventure, really. Velocicoaster, Hulk, and all that.
Yeah.
Harry Potter. Go
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Castle ride better than Green Gots. Green Gots is going to have a longer wait, so you could put that one off a little bit more.
Dirty confession is?
What?
I don't love the Harry Potter rides.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think
like,
they're all
there's
right.
Two of them. Yeah, there's 2 of them that are pretty fun, but the rest of them are okay.
And that really disappoints me that they took away Dueling Dragons, you're telling me? Because I thought Dueling Dragons Front Row was one of the best roller coaster experiences of my life.
So they have Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. It's a roller coaster now.
I don't care. I
it's
want
not
front
nearly as
row
good. The
where it
problem
looks like I'm
is,
going to hit the other people.
Dude, you're not going to wait less than like an hour and a half for that ride at any. I've done it once, and I go to Universal like twice a year.
Yeah, just get the Fast Pass, though.
Yeah, get the Fast Pass.
What are you doing? You a little broke boy, Taylor?
No, I mean, we do park to park
look,
hoppers.
to be clear, I'm completely joking. Like, I get it. Everything, you got to do what you can budget-wise. But if you can swing it budget-wise, 1,000% get the Fast Pass.
I don't worry about the Fast Pass at Universal because, like, I've already done everything there. So if the line's too long, I just don't go do it at this point.
Ask the Bench, are socks and sandals weird?
Like
Yes.
slides or like thong sandals?
Thong sandals are weird.
Yeah.
Wear socks and always have been.
Yeah.
Slides have gone through moments. I don't know if they're cool now, but pretty
I-
recently they were cool.
I
with
think
slides.
they're weird on slides or sandals.
What? I did a slide sock combo yesterday.
Okay, there you go. See, slides and socks still allowed. Okay, Egotter says his kids love Jurassic Park. Then you're gonna have a great time. Do all the Jurassic Park stuff. Stop being nice to Taylor. You're right. Shut up, Taylor. Ask the bench. Energy drinks over coffee? Hell no.
No.
Yes.
Give me black coffee all day, every day. That BBC, baby. I love it. Big black coffee. Ask the bench. Do you find those Wolfen Shepherds tight on your tight, or your tiny feet not enough for it to bother you? So I should be clear about my relationship with Wolfen Shepherds. One of my best friends from high school is the guy who started the company. That said, I do not ask him for any free products. I get no free products. I freaking love these shoes. I love these shoes. I got a pair of brown dress shoes for my suit and a pair of black dress shoes for my tux. And they are the most comfortable dress shoes you will ever put on in your entire life. So that is a free promotion. Ask the bench, ever get coffee from Seven Brew? Yeah, Seven Brew's pretty solid.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I like them.
Good vibes, bunch of young kids.
They kind of
Talk a little bit.
They
kinda talk, you know, sometimes
but
maybe
it's
not.
they mean well.
It's friendly though, you know.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
friendly.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I'm just mean.
Ask the bench, what shoes do you wear to a theme park? I wear orthopedics.
Any type of like comfy
Tennis
sneaker,
shoes,
running
yeah.
shoe,
Yeah.
jogging shoe, anything
Yeah,
like that.
like I wear. I guess a few years ago is I always get like a new pair
Socks and
2
slides.
weeks before, and I break them in. But yeah, no, 2 years ago it was a pair of Hokas, then I got a pair of Brooks last time out. I'll head over to Varsity and get fitted here a couple weeks before October. Yeah, no, I know the talking is part of Seven Brew shtick.
Yeah, it's just too much for me.
Sometimes it can be, but I kind of.
Man, I enjoy it.
Again,
I go at
I'm
like
just mean.
5:30
I
in
just
the
make them
morning.
uncomfortable. I'm like, hey, you're pretty good looking. How old are you? No matter if it's a male, female, it doesn't matter.
T-Bob's not joking.
I say, hey, you're pretty hot. Are you over 18? Thanks for the cold brew. Wink. Oh, love you. See you later.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. They're over 18. Actually, I don't know if the dealership is. I imagine it is. It's located off an airline in Goodwood, though, so it's convenient to get to no matter what. And guess what? I don't care how old that car is. I don't care if that's a brand new little baby car. You want to get inside it? Chris Hansen ain't going to show up at your door because you purchased it, okay? So I don't care if you want a Tundra, Tacoma, Sienna, whatever the case may be. Go check out All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. And if you need a brand new car, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage but at a better price, yeah, you just need a rent because you're going to Universal. And you want cheaper per day rental prices than traditional rental companies. Again, your one-stop shop is there at All-Star. And remember the All-Star Toyota Service Center, all makes and models welcome. Does not have to be a Toyota. Does not have to be from All-Star. So come on, listeners. All-Star Toyota is college level. Go check them out today. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.